Welcome to the Brain Worm Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the web serial Worm by J.C. McRae, better known as Wild Bow. We've been doing this for a while now. I don't think I have to explain anything to you. If you're here and you don't know what is happening, go back to the early parts, unless you don't mind being spoiled, or you have already read the whole thing and you just want to hear our thoughts on this arc in particular. My name is
Yeah.
Emil Worrell. I'm a writer as well. You can read my own web serial at thedeathless.net or by just looking up The Deathless on Royal Road. It's an isekai fantasy web serial, low fantasy, low magic, but high on the darkness scale. And that's about it. That's all I do for now. But we have other people in here who also do their own things on this very channel. So, Yakuman, what is a Yakuman?
I am a Yakuman. I have not read Worm before. This is my first time, which why I'm here. I'm also a not to brag or nothing. I'm also an aspiring writer. You may not know this about me, but I plan to write a book one of these days. What's what makes me special? Yeah, and also have my own podcast on this very channel called Monster Girl Mondays. In which we read Monster Girl Encyclopedia, a very different story, but nevertheless still, yeah, just as stupid as Worm. And that's me. That's me. Come on. Promo.
Hello, I'm Chroma. It's worm time. I am an irremediable slacker and procrastinator, and maybe I'll actually put something on here one of these days.
Wait a minute. Don't you normally do the whole introducing yourself in a different language thing?
English is a language.
Oh, so you have not done English yet?
I haven't done English yet, no.
I
Oh,
see.
okay. Nice.
And also
Okay.
I put off figuring out what language to do this for too long this time.
I mean, Turkish would make sense for this one.
It would have fucked me.
but you've missed your shot, and now you look like the worm.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, Turkish soldiers will return at some point, and you can do it again.
Totally.
Do you think the Turkish
sure.
soldiers are like an important part of war?
I mean, here's hoping, because, Turkey, never been. Sounds rad, though, from the way it's described in Worm. So here's hoping we get to see more of it. Is it probably a better setting than Brockhampton Bay, to be honest? Probably a lot more interesting.
Well.
How come I seriously doubt that?
Imagine if, like, Taylor just, like, is walking around and she just fucking steps on a landmine. That'd be fucking awesome.
Would it, though?
Like every chapter?
Yeah, like every... Well, you know how these fucking arcs are structured. Like, nothing happens for the first couple ones, and something big happens in the middle, and then it sort of has, like, a cliffhanger towards the end. So, yeah, she could, like, fucking... At any point, really. It fucking definitely beats, what, going shopping with Brian? Fucking building
fucking
IKEA
Brian.
furniture? Fucking stupid. Fucking shit.
Fucking Brian.
Yeah,
Put a gun to their heads. Put a gun to my head. Fuck me.
What if instead of every arc Taylor complaining about fighting someone who has like heightened senses, instead it's every arc one of them stepping on a different landmine and the others having to come to the rescue. Like it happens every single time, every week.
Yeah, that or just like having a gun put by a
yeah,
shoulder.
Look, the Undersiders need to join the Landmine of the Month Club.
Which formerly was made by Barkada, but
of course,
yeah.
Rest
so
in peace.
now there's going to be a bit of delay on this month's issue, fortunately.
We'll have to find a different. We'll have to find a different fucking tinker to, to make crazy ass bombs.
I bet I think Uber and Lead they
Yeah.
could take up the mantle. I think.
They could pretend to
Yeah.
be Bakuda, like in the background.
Although, I mean,
that's
yeah,
silly. That's silly. That's perfect.
it's
Like they don't
yeah,
have
of course
to
it's
do
not
it.
like of course it's not like Leet really needs to try to make something that explodes horribly.
No, he doesn't even have to make any bombs because she has like
Yeah,
left all of these
exactly.
bombs in the city. He just pretends those are his.
No, but you see, Leet's tech, it always blows up in his face. It always blows up in your face. So all his tech is a bomb waiting to go off, technically.
And they all suck.
They all suck, yes. That's why they're sending out Bakuda's old bombs instead of Leet's stuff.
So why doesn't Lead just make C4 all the time?
Because like the way his power works is that like he can only really do something once, and if he keeps trying to make it, it gets progressively worse.
It's basically he can only use a given like a specific technology once, and the closer a thing he tries to make to that in the future, the more likely it is to fail horribly.
Yeah. So like if he wants to make another bomb, he has to make one that is very different in structure from the first bomb, but there are only so many you can make before they start getting pretty close.
Yeah, he couldn't like he could probably make a machine that spits out C4, but
and he just buys the C4.
Or he could just buy C4.
Yeah.
What if he built a machine that builds machines that doesn't explode?
Hmm.
You see, this is why Wildbow is a bad writer, because he hasn't thought about that, and the Akuman just did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has been asked about like, can Leet build a machine to get around? Can Leet build something to make it so he can get around the power limitation? And Wildbow is like, no, that's stupid.
Can Greg make a burrito that's too hot even for him to eat?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Greg's pretty powerful. I think he could, but because he's so powerful.
Well, yeah.
And that would be an limitation.
The thing is, anyone who isn't immune to spicy food can do that. Sorry. You know what? Anyone who isn't immune to spicy food and can actually successfully make a burrito can do that.
No, like this is the bane of Wildbow, because he's out here trying to tell a story, and meanwhile his audience is like, no, but I don't understand why doesn't Gregor like do X thing, and he has to come up with a reason to explain why, because these people are fucking like insane wiki readers, and so he posts a chapter. He's looking forward to seeing people's reaction to it, and he goes down in the comments, and it's just like, that name's bad though. Like why did they choose a bad name?
It's mostly like it's that kind of thing is actually surprisingly rare in the comments, at least up to the point in the story we're at.
Because I don't read the comments.
I do read the comments. I do check the comments. I don't go all the way down on every page, but I do check like the top comments, the longer chains.
I've only read a couple, and they are all from Wildbow himself. I don't fucking scroll down.
Yeah, well, I do, because I'm dedicated to the deep meta lore.
Because you're an insane wiki reader, as I just said.
Well, yes, I am an insane wiki reader. much like 80% of the fandom.
Oh, with that out of the way, this arc is pretty long, so why don't we just get into it?
Let's just get into it. Yeah.
before we keep going on.
Go insane.
Oh, 7.1. Oh, this arc is called Buzz, by the way.
It is called Buzz. It's a stupid name. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means something, but it's like kind of nothing.
We'll see about that. 7.1. Taylor and Brian are sparring in the Undersiders' hideout. Though Taylor learns fast, she is very worried by the sheer difference in strength and often finds herself being caught no matter what she does. When they are all gathered, they start discussing the recent events. Alex says what Coyle meant by talking about his dad, that he is Heartbreaker's son, a parahuman who can control emotions, and used it to form a cult of women in love with him, having many kids and trying to set up trigger events on his children to make the family more powerful. Alec has had his powers since he was 10 or 11, he thinks, but no one kept track of dates, so he's not sure. And he reveals himself to be the second murderer in the group, having been forced by his father to kill when he was around 13. It's possible that Heartbreaker will send someone after them if he realizes who Regent is. And though Brian is dissatisfied that Alec kept this a secret, there isn't anything they can do about it right now. When it comes to continuing working for Coyle, Taylor suggests that they should only do it if they all agree, and everyone does, considering that the benefits far outweigh the risks, except Bitch, who says she doesn't trust Coyle, that he talks too much to not be hiding something, and that their current situation is already good enough. When Bitch is leaving the place, Taylor asks if she can come with to help take care of the dogs, going as far as making a deal that if she tries to manipulate Rachel or pisses her off in some way, Rachel gets to hit Taylor for free. She accepts. And that is the chapter.
It is the chapter. Now, of course, elephant in the room, Heartbreaker. He has been mentioned before.
Yeah.
Then when Taylor and Lisa are talking in the van on the way to the bank, and Lisa gives her old cops and robbers spiel. Heartbreaker is one of the monsters she mentions. You know, the really fucking evil parahumans. And you know what? He sure is an evil ass motherfucker.
I mean, he's more evil than the people we fought in Brockton Bay up until this point.
Oh yeah.
This chapter does confirm what I think that, like, by this point most people have already figured out, that Alec had to be the other murderer because the other ones don't really fit.
No, I think I'm probably the only one that managed to get it right. You know, me being the brain and all. I think I'm the only one that guessed it right. Everyone else is probably thinking, oh, probably someone like fucking Telltale or something. But me, I
it was
got it
totally Tattletale.
Yeah, she really looks like a killer.
She's such a killer. Yeah, of course Lisa taunts Taylor a bit about like, you're having so much fun with Brian. You know, I wouldn't want to interrupt your fun.
Did I mention before that, like, I really found that, like, annoying? I
think you did.
That in the last episode, yeah, that I found that fucking...
And it is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like jumping into the opportunity. I don't really see her as pushing them together in any way, but she doesn't stop talking about it either.
Yeah. You know, it's like... It is pretty clear she's trying to entrench Taylor further into the group.
Yeah, you know, in our own way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is really fucking annoying to read.
Yeah, like the whole... I mean, I think, like, where it eventually leads up is, you know, fine. But the whole relationship between Taylor and Brian has been one of the lower points of the story so far.
And actually, reading the comments, nobody likes them together.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Or at least barely anyone does. It's all like when that does, you know, sort of resolve a bit later in this arc. Right, everyone's like, "Oh, thank God they didn't actually, you know, right. He isn't just a love interest, you know." It's like thank God, like they don't actually get together. That would just be so boring, and it wouldn't really work for the characters, honestly. So, you know, sometimes the commenters are right.
I will be honest, like, though it is the obvious relationship, I don't understand why this early into the story people are, like, so adamantly against it. Because, as I just said, it doesn't work for the characters. Yes, and that is very clearly what is being shown. So I don't understand what the issue is.
I mean, because here's the thing. It's
spending
it
time
is
on it.
very common. It is very common for two characters that don't really work together, don't really have chemistry, to be forced together anyway, just for a romantic subplot.
I think
Uh,
a lot of
it's not.
stories are just like
Yeah,
there has to be a romance and it has to
yeah,
be fucking like a
yeah,
they're just like a heterosexual. We need a man and a woman to
yeah.
fucking fall in love
So
over the
like,
course of the story.
it's not unreasonable for people to be worried about that, especially with how much focus has been put on the potential relationship between them up to this point. So, yeah,
Maybe
it was more of like a it was more of a like, oh, thank like it's like a sigh, it's like a collective sigh of relief in the
Yeah,
comments when we get to that point.
yeah. Thank God we don't have to spend more time on it than we already
Thank
have.
God.
Yeah. Like if this had gone on for like the entire fucking story, it would be real fucking
Hmm.
maybe I
fucking
would
like
be
arc 22 and we're still building IKEA furniture together.
yeah, maybe I would be more worried if I had followed these chapters as they came out because like
Yeah.
I, I don't even think we spend that much time on it, and I think it very early
Yeah.
starts going bad. So I don't know. It just feels like an overreaction. To be
It's
completely honest, I'm not saying I
everything gets
like the relationship,
yeah.
but it's like no, I don't hate it.
That is the thing about reading chapter to chapter, week to week, right? Every little annoyance is amplified tenfold,
Yeah,
right? Because like, you know, right, because while you're waiting for the next chapter, you just have to fucking right. You're stuck on this. You're stuck on building IKEA furniture.
oh yeah, I can see how that chapter would be a fucking nightmare to sit on for a whole week.
Yeah, not a whole week even, because it's like I think even by
It
now
was twice a
it's
week.
every few days. Yeah,
Yeah, twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was thinking about it recently. There's no way that like, how many chapters have there been? There's like probably already been. Yeah, since it is arc 7, it's already. If it was weekly, it would already be like a year's worth of story. I can't
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
following this
yeah.
story for an entire year
It's
as
like
it comes out.
it's about like half a year in at the moment, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
that
because
makes
it
more
was a twice
sense.
a week.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see. June 2011, and the beginning of this is January 2012. Yeah. So it's been about half a year at this point.
Yeah, and since like the chapters are very short, but they were coming out fast
Oh
and they
yeah.
keep getting bigger, so like he can afford to pace things at a different way. Like
Yeah.
comparing this to my own web serial, which has significantly shorter chapters and isn't even particularly fast paced, it still feels fast paced. Like compared to Worm, like
A little bit.
like
Yeah.
in a chapter by chapter basis, not really, but when you look at an arc, it's like, oh yeah, a lot more things happen, and I don't really write at a fast pace.
Yeah. Also, like, okay, at the end of this arc, Wild Bill's like, yeah, the next arc is gonna be the end of book one, or maybe book two, since we're already at 280K. And it's like, oh my god.
Oh
This up to this point, as like if you handed me a 300,000 word book that goes up to the end of this arc, I would I would be questioning your sanity.
yeah, that's the issue with like trying to turn a web serial that is structured in this way into a big novel.
Yeah, because they're very different formats.
Yeah, like
Like,
I have recently started reading the edited version of A Practical Guide to Evil, and
yes,
I'm still not finished with book one, but the impression I get is that that was actually structured to be full length novels. It was just posted chapter by chapter.
I mean that one was also very much written chapter to chapter, but I think it was outlined a lot more in advance than Worm was.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh, we'll get to outline conversation by the
We
end
will
of
get
next
to
arc.
Wildbow's. We will get
Yeah.
to Wildbow's overall writing process because
And I will defend
oh
him
my
in
god.
front of all of you.
I will also defend him, honestly, because I kind of love how awful and deranged his writing process is.
I mean, that is
Uh,
that way, and he like somehow still
oh yeah,
scrambles to publish like 10,000 words a week. Is
yeah.
pretty
Like
insane.
this is the way he likes doing it, I guess.
Yeah, and it's working for him.
It works for him.
He's like
So if it works for him, it works for him.
So
his
is it
Hiro Mashima.
Yeah, no, is it? I was gonna say, like, is it does he use the same writing trick technique as Stephen King, i.e., a lot of fucking cocaine?
I don't think so.
Yeah, actual quote from Wildbow, paraphrased because I don't remember the exact wording. I actually really like painting myself into corners.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that multiple times. Like it's part of
Yeah,
his. I'm not
it's part
sure
of his
how, but
style.
it's
It's part of
part
his
of his.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much a okay. How the fuck are they gonna get out of this one now? Kind of style.
You know, thinking about it, this definitely reads as somebody writing sober, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He really is. He really is writing sober.
yeah. Some people are like, really, like they have like this fucking dream of like going out into the desert and like doing a bunch of fucking psychedelics and writing a book and be like, oh, it's like you're never gonna do. That's literally it. Everyone wants to do that, and that's never fucking happened for anybody. No one's ever
Oh
been
yeah.
able to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Fucking, uh, yeah. I don't know. I'm sure his writing process is great though. No drugs involved.
Yep. No drugs, just absolute madness. And I respect that. Yeah, there's not really much to say about chapter 1.
Yeah, no. The best part about this chapter is the fact that we see old Taylor try to reach and extend out a hand to bitch and be friends.
Yep,
Which is what the next couple chapters are about.
indeed.
Yeah.
As I hurried her way to get my running shoes on, Ella kissed at me. You're crazy! Maybe, probably. uh,
I hope
you,
this wasn't something I was going to regret.
and 7-2.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to read 7.2 and 7.3.
Yeah, because they're pretty much the same thing.
So 7.2, Beach has set up a place for around a dozen dogs in an abandoned, unfinished building. Being surrounded by dogs reminds Taylor of when Beach first had her dogs on her, and she reaches out for her power to calm herself, in the process feeling things she can control inside one of the dogs. She tells this to Beach, who knows they are heartworms, and has Taylor help her. Beach ties the dog Sirius and uses her power on Brutus and Angelica, then on Sirius himself, explaining that her power will kill the worms and the toxins that they release after death, while the other dogs are there to keep an uncontrolled Sirius down. Taylor feels the worms dying with her power and soon after offers to grab something for them to eat while Rachel waits for the effects of her power to fully pass. And then 7.3, Taylor grabs them food, and for a while they stay in the back of the building, watching the dogs play, throwing balls for them to catch, and having quick bursts of small talk. Some skinheads come by to cause trouble, complaining about the barking. It's not the first time Rachel has had to deal with them, and Taylor thinks about how Empire 88's presence made some of white supremacist gangs feel more comfortable being public in Brockton Bay. One of them, a seemingly 13-year-old kid, pulls a gun on Rachel, and his father explains that killing Bitch would help him become a part of the gang. They know who Bitch is and about her powers, but they also know there is nothing she can do about a gun. Why is it not scrolling down? Why is my Google Docs not scrolling down?
Reload, baby,
Yeah.
reload.
Okay, it's working now. Taylor messages the others to come help, and only Brian responds, but the situation is escalating quickly. Using her power, she creates a mass of insects thick enough to completely hide her body, then steps outside to scare them, crouching among the mass while keeping the insects above her head as if she was still standing. The kid shoots multiple times, but the bullets only pass through the insects and do nothing to her. Taylor attacks them, driving a knife through the kid's thigh and taking their gun, then swarming them with insects to instill panic. There is a lot of blood, but she managed to send them scrambling. I have just noticed that, like, in this arc alone, Taylor knifes someone in the thigh like 2 times, and I'm
yeah.
sure it has happened before.
Yeah,
It's kind of her go-to move.
it is. And I mean, it's not a bad go-to move. It is very effective. Right?
I mean, my go-to would be like go for the eyes, because that's what I would be like. But I understand that like Taylor doesn't want to do permanent damage.
Yeah. Yeah, stabbing someone in the eyes is maybe a little much as the go-to move.
Yeah, but it means you never have to deal with them again. That's how I always imagine it.
Hmm.
Well, not everyone has
something-
healing
yeah.
abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, she fucking stabs people in the thigh anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Although the Empire does have a healer.
yeah, but it's still like much lower risk of giving someone permanent damage.
Oh yeah.
Though the thing that she
Although
does later
thigh-
with her knife is
Yeah.
significantly nastier.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thigh does have, a pretty fucking huge artery in it. So,
Yes.
nicking that is a pretty
like the
surefire
inside.
way to make someone not alive anymore.
Yeah.
That's true.
I do like how she like cut the guy's forehead because you know how like
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a serious
Yeah.
cut, but it causes a lot of blood and
Yeah.
looks nasty.
It looks nasty
I
and
like
it blinds the opponent.
Yes. That was good.
Yeah. And also it hurts like a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Like a
I mean,
bitch?
no cuts.
A
Yeah.
bitch.
I mean, no cut's gonna be particularly pleasant.
Yeah. But also just like ugh.
Like even if you just like fucking cut my fingertips, just like kind of sliced along it, it's still like it's fucking I don't
Yeah.
fucking do that.
It's a very
Ugh.
sharp pain.
Yeah.
In like movies, whenever a character has to cut their hand to offer blood, they always
Oh,
do
God,
that
yeah.
stupid like giant cut from one side of the palm to the other. Like, why? Just do like a little nick in your thumb. That's enough.
Actually, oh god, A Practical Guide to Evil actually. I don't know if this is in the edited version, but at least in the original version, the main character at one point goes on a whole rant about like, okay, why the fuck would you like cutting your hand to get blood out is stupid? Because then you can't hold shit. You can't
Yeah.
hold anything in that hand until it heals. Until it's like heals. That's why you cut your wrist instead.
Yeah, especially if it's a giant slice across your palm.
Yep.
The other day, I ended up cutting what I thought was my finger as I cut it, and like fucking blood was coming out, but I actually ended up cutting my nail, and it like split and cracked. And now like my left index finger, it's got like a quarter of its nail missing.
Ouch.
Yeah, that sucked.
Oh.
That sucked.
I once broke one of my fingernails in like half. Actually half.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty fucking ugly.
This podcast is about Worm, by the way.
Well, this kind of thing happens in Worm.
It does happen in Worm.
Yeah, I'm sort of like somebody's gonna get like fucking, like the fingernails ripped off, or like in Kaiji where like fucking device like goes in underneath your fingernails and like cuts it. Yeah.
It just kind of
A bloody manicure. Yeah.
I mean, there is talk of
That one was
torture a little later, so maybe.
It is, yeah.
And we have had someone get their toes cut off, so not that
We
far.
have had that.
2 toes, 2.5 toes, in fact.
True. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is it just me, or is bitch like weirdly articulate when talking about heartworm and how it's usually treated?
Yeah, that's true.
Weirdly
like-
articulate.
I mean, if there's anything for her to be very knowledgeable about and articulate about, it is, dog health. But like, yes, you'd have to inject arsenic into the muscles, and it's very, It would take months to recover. And it's like I think this is the longest bitch has spoken uninterrupted
Hmm.
and using much longer words than much more fancy words than
Yeah, I
usual.
don't. Yeah, if you told me that like
Like,
at no point in this story has bitch ever said a 4-syllable word until now,
oh yeah.
I would legitimately believe you.
I'm pretty sure that's I mean motherfucker is a four
Oh,
syllable word. So
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
yeah.
like throughout the chapter, she still has this way of speaking where it's like very short sentences with lots of dots instead of commas. But
Yeah.
maybe like
Yeah.
this specific paragraph where she's talking about the bacteria, I can kind of see what you mean, but it doesn't really stand out
It's
to me.
it's not that much, but like heartworms have a bacteria inside them. When they die, the bacteria gets released into the dog. Having a vet treat it is a long process that involves injecting arsenic into muscles and lots of antibiotics. Like this, his body won't just kill them, but it can kill the disease. He'll be fine by tomorrow. I think that having a vet treat it sentence is like at least twice as long as the next longest sentence she's said so far.
Quite
Which,
possibly, yeah.
yeah, it does make sense that this is something she'd be able to talk extensively about.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not sure she actually knows what arsenic is, besides that it's not good for you. Like, her education effectively stopped at 12 or so, and it probably wasn't very good to begin with. Uh, but
Well,
she knows enough about what these things are to know like
Yeah, and she doesn't even
to talk
swear in
about
that.
dog health. Yeah, she doesn't swear at all in that paragraph.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
it's almost as if she can actually have a
It's almost
conversation. It's just
yeah,
harder.
yeah, weird.
No, she's just an autistic girl, and this is her special interest. Every autistic girl has theirs.
Look, she has the autism that makes you a dog.
But yeah, overall, just continuing on with the bonding between Rachel and Taylor, which again, like, kind of interesting that Rachel would be the first that Taylor actually starts like actively trying to become closer to out of the
Yeah.
group. But like the chapter by itself, not really much to say. You get the point across. It's pretty fucking obvious. It makes more
Yeah.
sense when you look at the whole arc than at the chapter individually. Until a kid with a gun comes up, and
Until the kid with the gun comes up.
yeah, and Taylor continues her like mannerism, I guess you could say, of seeing someone using their power in a particular way and figuring out a way to work that into her arsenal.
Yeah. Also, just there's a Greek food stand. If you walk in the direction of the boardwalk, you'll smell it before you see it. Oh yeah, that's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's a good fucking place. You know, yeah.
Yeah, like the. I mean,
If you're in an unfamiliar place and you're looking for some good food, follow your nose. Follow your nose.
yeah, I mean, I definitely do. When I'm walking about, like I go to like fucking stalls and stands and stuff, as opposed to like a restaurant.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but like, yeah, like I mean, like the Greek places that I have known, like I have been to, the fucking they never like smelt particularly strong to me.
Yeah.
But I could kind of imagine it was like, yeah,
And of course Taylor's terrified of being in a room with a chained up uncontrolled monster dog.
uh,
Yeah,
So
she
she's pretty happy to be out of there for a bit.
yeah she finds a good reason for it, but she's out.
Yeah. 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 Although the talk of Greek food does really make me want a gyro. And of course, chapter 3 starts with Taylor being being very anxious about it being lunchtime.
Oh yeah, because she's remembering the start of the story and how everything happens at around noon.
Yeah, and the bank robbery went bad around lunch, and well, it all happened around lunch. Uh, God.
And this is the very first time Taylor uses her bugs to talk.
Yeah,
which
it is.
is quite a thing. I definitely not
Yeah.
remember it appearing this late. It was
Yeah,
like,
and of course when Taylor checks the time, it's like it's about 1:30, which is about the edge of lunchtime, continuing the streak. God
yeah,
damn it.
and she still blames it even though it's 1:30.
Yeah. If this keeps up, I'm gonna develop an anxiety disorder about this. Really great line from Taylor.
No, looking at
And of course,
this,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, using the swarm clone for misdirection, hiding in it, crouching down so the balls just go through it instead of through her.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Also the bit where she actually gathers the bugs, and it's like all the black flies from the copious amounts of dog waste crawling all over my skin. This is 90% of why this is 90% of why I picked a costume that covered my whole body.
yeah, even she's freaked out about it.
Yeah. Even she thinks it's gross. Which I mean, they are like flies that gather and shit, so it is gross.
I mean, what I think she should have done is she should have gathered all those shit flies and just like have them swarm their mouths. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I perhaps would not have covered my no, but she needs a lot of filler for the the bug tower to really work.
Yeah,
Oh well, covered in shit.
and she's getting more villainous with her use of it.
Yes,
She
she's getting more
uses it.
sinister.
Yeah, she uses it as like a weapon of fear, and she also, I don't remember who she specifically credits with giving her this idea, but she says that, oh, bullets won't work while my body is like this, and she comes up with this like
Yes,
on the
I
spot.
think it's Gru.
it's a she credits Tattletale with the whole like the same way she made
right.
shit up to trip up Glory Girl at the bank.
Yeah. Pretending
Right.
her powers are like not exactly what they are, like more
Yeah.
powerful than they are.
Yeah.
Pretending that she can turn herself into bugs when so you can't shoot me because I'm bugs. I am
I'm
one of these
Bugs.
bugs.
I
I'm
am
Bugs. Bullets don't do
Bugs.
shit to me. I'm Bug. I'm going bug mode.
Buzz off, freaks. As she
Buzz.
says
I'm
in Naruto.
Bugs.
I mean, this arc is called Buzz.
It is called Buzz.
Oh, I said.
I was gonna say bug off, but then I noticed Buzz and I was like, okay, that's pretty
Bugger
bad.
off. Bugger off, mate.
Yeah, I also don't think anyone else fucking uses bug. Bugger off.
Yeah, I wrote the summary that she sends them scrambling. I should have written that she sends them buzzing. I'm not enough of a bugger. Need to work on my bugging. Or my skittering.
Not enough of a bugger.
Oh, one thing I was going to say that, like, looking at these two chapters in particular, like 7.2 and 7.3, it really is. Like, it's not that you can't afford to publish like this weekly, because the vast majority of your audience is still going to read it when it's finished or in the future, because like this story was already decently popular by this point, but nowhere near how popular it is now. So I am like in my mind already like replaying some parts of all of the web serials that I've read, which aren't many, and the one that I'm writing and the other ones that I still want to write. And like having talked about the way that these chapters come out every week, like in my mind I'm now like completely unrelated to Worm, figuring out or trying to figure out different ways to use this to my advantage, because like I haven't had anyone particularly complain about the pacing of certain chapters, even my own chapters that I am not satisfied with, that I feel are like way too short and don't do enough. No one has really come out and pointed those out, and so I'm I'm curious to like having this in my mind when I go to write tomorrow. I will have this in my mind and see whether it really just is like me not realizing that my chapters are a lot more consistent, or if it just is that no one that has a good enough eye for this kind of stuff has been reading my work. Because like so many things, like there are quite a lot of things that we criticize about the way that Wild Bowl structures center chapters, but
Yeah.
like oddly enough, I see him doing a lot that he like there are particular things where Wild Bowl is a better writer than I am. And so just like me as someone who is mostly interested in learning how a successful web serial works so that I can translate that into my own style. All of that to say that like not that I'm worried about the quality of my production because of this, but I am curious to see what the reaction will be when there are like a lot more arcs of the Deathless out, because comparing to like this would have been about a year of publication, and I know what a year of publication will be like in the Deathless because I already have the whole first year written.
Yeah.
So I'm in my mind I'm just like maybe
I mean, I
maybe
think that
this guy actually kind of knows some stuff.
in terms of like structuring praising, I think that like most people, if it's like good enough, right? Most people kind of won't really tell or like feel it as much. Like if you asked me like which chapter is longer, 7.3 or that one shop chapter where Brian, and Taylor built IKEA furniture. If you asked me like which one's longer, I couldn't tell you. But if you asked me what I felt was longer, I would say the Brian Taylor one, because like I found the subject of it to be uninteresting within itself. The relationship between Taylor and Bitch in this, like even though this is like it's like a decently length.
Wait, did you cut off or was that the end of her
Yeah,
sentence?
I think Yakumo cut off. Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. I mean, the point here is really that a long chapter where interesting things are happening is still gonna feel shorter than a short chapter where nothing is happening. Uh, and also just, the relationship between Taylor and Bitch is more interesting than between Taylor and Brian, and they have more chemistry.
Yeah, that's true. That does help. I mean, there is like a lot that goes through my head while we're having these conversations that I leave to like fester on my mind for later that I don't exactly know how to put into words because
Yeah.
how do I explain the way that like in a sense I'm always writing, like I actually type words very little, but I'm
Oh,
always writing something in my mind. I'm always figuring out the connections between different chapters and how to, because like this like the Deathless itself is me as someone who understands the structure of novels a lot more than I understand the structure of web
Oh,
serials.
shit, I'm back.
You are
Shit.
back.
yeah.
Fucking internet cut out.
Yeah.
What did I miss? How much of my fucking did I cut out just as I
You were
was
in the middle of
praising?
explaining
The
the
last
whole
thing
like
we heard was this chapter is a decent length and then cut off.
Oh,
yeah, this is a decently sized chapter, but and then yeah, that was about where we lost you.
oh, okay. Yeah, like this is a decently sized chapter. Uh, um, however, because of the what that was in within this chapter is good enough, is good that I did not feel like I was particularly, spending forever stuck on the events of this. Basically, the point of what I was trying to say, that I did say before I realized it'll fucking cut out, uh, was that if no one is complaining about the length, the shortness, or the length of it, then it means you're doing something good, right?
Yeah.
No one's like, oh man, this is like too short.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
none of this impact, or this is too long. You're spending too long on this. If no one's made a complaint, then it means you're
yeah,
doing good.
yeah.
I structured that really fucking well when I said it the first time, and now I'm saying it a second time. I'm like fucking.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad this time either.
No, yeah, it was perfectly comprehensible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just
like
as I was complimenting Amy, my fucking internet died. So
Yeah,
Of
you know,
course.
fuck it.
in general, when I'm reading something week to week, update to update, like if what's there is good, I'm not really gonna notice too much how long the chapter is.
Yes.
You know, it's like, right. If it's short, I'll be, right. If it's short, I'll be like, I wish there was more. But next update,
Yeah, and it,
and
you know, it's
and if
like
it's long, I'll be very satisfied
also
with the
just
length.
similar to like typos and stuff. Like most people's brain just kind of like fills in the gap anyway
yeah.
and like reads over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but so I think,
yeah, like
I think there's a
2-2.
similar. Yeah. So I imagine there's probably something similar with like fucking post length, chapter length
Yeah.
of just like you will just sort of like not
Yeah.
quite realize.
At the end of the day, quality is always going to be more important than quantity.
Hmm.
I mean, if you can do both, then Oh yeah. Taylor explains that 8-8 means Heil Hitler. Uh, good old
Yeah,
good
8,
old
8 and
Nazi
8,
number
3.
codes. Yeah, Heil Christ.
I forgot about that. Yeah, sometimes she has these really silly thoughts.
I mean, I can't think of anything else it'd be either. I mean, I think that is actually what it means usually.
Oh, if that is the case, then I have just made
It's
a fool
fucking
out of
goofy.
myself.
I mean, it is fucking goofy. So,
Too goofy to be believable, I'd say.
oh no, if anything, it being goofy makes it more believable.
Yeah.
Seriously,
No,
Nazi dog whistles are so stupid.
Yeah, you see, actually, what it is like, it's like this face, this emoji, but with like big wide eyes. you know,
Okay.
like that. You know, it's fucking like curved, like cat
The
mouth
fucking-
thing. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
If you squint
Nazi
your eyes, it kinda
furries.
looks like a bug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this guy's actually a Nazi furry. Because that's a
Yeah. So
thing that
like,
exists somehow. I feel like with how obsessed Nazis are with degenerates, it would be pretty hard to be a furry and a Nazi, but they sure do
no.
exist.
Oh yeah, there's Nazi fuzz. That
Oh,
is
there's
cool.
tons of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. No, when it's like a colon and like a 3, and you like turn your head, it kind of looks like a butterfly. So 83 is like a big fat butterfly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like a butterfly from the side while it's perching with its wings up.
You know what? I'm just going to fucking move on from this conversation.
the oh god, the whole like conversation between bitch and these idiots is pretty sure is something. Doesn't matter. We're claiming this neighborhood, and that barking is driving me up the fucking wall. You've said so before. Try earplugs. The guy throws another bottle. Can't do business wearing earplugs, you dumb whore. Then don't do business. I don't care. Because bitch gives no fucks.
Oh, well, unless someone has something else, we can move on to 7 at the
Yeah.
bar.
The hot dog soaked in antifreeze is amazingly cruel.
Oh yeah, they do threaten to poison the dogs.
That sure is some animal cruel. That is some very creative animal cruelty. Next chapter.
How much mentions of shit is there in one? Not to do another whole big aside, but you know,
Not that much.
I feel like there's quite a bit of shit talk
Not much, I don't
both
think.
ways in this
Listen,
in this
I
arc.
have read A Song of Ice and Fire, so the bar for how much shit talk there has to be for it to be a lot of shit talk is pretty fucking high.
Because you know, like Monster Encyclopedia, we've been doing it for some months now. Almost 2 months. And like we only just got to the first mention of, well, the no
Fecal
waste.
matter. Yeah,
Yeah,
waste.
there was no waste.
Yeah.
No,
That was mentioned.
don't remind me
And
of
so-
it.
Fucking
And so
Clooney.
now I am kind of shit brained.
Shit brain.
I'm thinking about the shit.
Me when I am shit for
Yeah.
brains.
It seems like, yeah.
Next chapter.
Yes. 7.4. Brian gets there and they try to convince Rachel to leave, but she is stubborn. She eventually agrees to pack and move the dogs somewhere else, but has Brian and Taylor go ahead while she packs to check on the others who still haven't answered. When Brian isn't listening, Rachel very directly says that if Taylor likes Brian, she should just offer to fuck with him. Back in the Undersiders' hideout, Lisa and Alec are fine. Lisa is speaking on the phone, reading an email on her laptop. Coyle has just made a move against Empire 88, leaking a ton of private information about their top numbers, like Kaiser and Purity, including their civilian identities, where they live, what they do, and zip files with more information. This puts the Undersiders in an unexpected situation. Not only have they had issues with the Empire through Beach twice, but they are also definitely going to be blamed for the leaks, as it happened at about the same time of the earlier skirmish. And that's
Yep.
7.4. Pretty
It sure is. Of
pretty
course, Brian
compact
gets
chapter.
there. Of course, Brian gets there when they're shoveling shit.
Yes. No, as
yeah.
one does.
As one does. Oh, and of course, when Taylor's reading the email, she uses the page down key and then hits home to go back to the top. You know, very
That's
fun little
villain
detail.
behavior.
It really is.
Why?
She's just. I think it's very important that she's the kind of person who actually uses the page down key. There are two types of people in this world: page down users and normal people, and sane people, rather. Nah, I'm just being a dick. It's whatever.
Also, can't forget the fact that Lisa is changing phones and Alec just did not check his, even though they have this deal of always being available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Well,
they arrive their costume and like Tattletale looks at them like holding back laughter, like why are you costume? And they're like, oh, we almost died.
Teenagers.
You
I
know,
mean, I also don't check my
I'm-
phone, so
I'm
Yeah.
gonna defend. I'm going to defend the page up, page down thing because I've just been doing it for a little bit, and it seems legitimately quicker than scrolling.
It is quicker, but also like
I've never thought about using it before,
me neither.
but now
yeah,
I
I have used it, but
think
it's usually just more convenient to keep my hand on the mouse.
Yeah.
I think I've just been page up, page down pilled.
And all it took was a single line in War.
Look, I know it's probably more efficient, but it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't like how fast it is. I need it to be more fluid.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's not always really. It's a lot easier to just keep scrolling and keep stuff more or less in the center of the screen than go, get to the bottom, page down, go back up, bottom, page down, go back up.
Oh.
It's right because you do need to get all the way to the bottom of the page before doing page down.
Hold
it does,
on.
it does. It's like turning a page.
Hold on. I'm pressing it, and by going page down, page up, home, and I'm like scrolling through the comments, and I see a comment from March 20, 2013 from someone that I recognize. Remember how yesterday I said that I have like a number one fan that comments on every new
No
chapter?
fucking way.
No.
Yeah, this person has been commenting on Worm as in 2013,
Holy
and they're reading
shit.
my book now. That's pretty fucking cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, they've been like giving me like, oh, you missed
Yeah.
a word here. There's a typo there. Yeah,
There's like
2013
okay.
was fucking 7 centuries ago. What the fuck?
There's one user. There's one person that like I keep finding in the comments of webcomics I like. Dating back to like 2002. And
Oh,
I remember his name specifically because for very complicated and kind of stupid reasons, he has a small cameo in that webcomic from the very early 2000s.
damn.
Right? So his profile picture everywhere is the drawing of him in that webcomic. So it's very easy to recognize him. The webcomic in question is Narbonic, and it's one of my favorites, and I'm going to make you people read it at some point.
At some point.
Narbonic.
Never heard of it.
Nobody has.
Okay, but
Actually,
you know
yeah,
what?
there's something you did mention actually. I know again, it's already on the other side, but like, how big is Worm on like the popularity? Like, saying that like, Hanada Shounen Shi, no one's ever heard of it. So that's probably like a 1, and then 10 is fucking Star Wars, right? Like, how big is Worm? Because I kind of.
I mean,
Well,
as far as in the web serial space, in like the Western web serial space, it's probably the most well known.
yeah, that's a little hard to know because like
But
there
like, how big
are
is that scene really?
there are other web serial authors that are better paid than Wild Bow. Like specifically, there is this guy called Zogarth, who I think is like by far the like best earning web serial author. He's the author of The Primal Hunter, so people don't really know him that much by the web serial. Is the idea that I get because those books are like on Amazon, but
I see.
like if you are into web serials in English, you absolutely know Worm. Like
yeah, you've at least heard of Worm
Yeah.
and Wild Bow.
It's a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, it's like
basically every web serial author of any well-known web serial is going to be like, yeah, right, is going to mention Worm at some point.
yeah,
Right, has probably read Worm at some point.
yeah.
Like most people, there's a lot of people that couldn't name you a single visual novel. The people that do read visual novels will be able to tell you about, Umineko or Steins Gate.
Kind of like that.
Muv-Love, probably.
Yeah.
But
even
like
if they don't know anything about it, they've heard of it,
The difference is that like there are, of course, and we are talking about the specifically like English speaking web serials.
Yes.
That is a very different thing.
Because in like Japan and China, it's a whole different scene.
Yeah, completely different stories. But like
and Korea,
it's like aside from like A Practical Guide to Evil and The Worm are probably the two better known ones. The difference is that there are like specific stories from an author that either none of their other stories have taken off or they are only really working in one story that are pretty popular. Like Catalepsis is pretty big, Super Sportive is pretty big.
I mean, the
Mother
author
of
has another
Learning is
one
pretty
called,
big. Pale Lights.
Yeah.
The difference is that
Erotica Rata, the author of Practical Guide to Evil, has a second web serial called Pale Lights. The author of Catalepsis has another one called Necropologos, which I don't know anything about.
The difference is that Wild Bow has a lot of stories and they are all pretty popular. Like Worm is the number one, but Like
yeah,
if you
by a
know
mile.
about Worm, you know about Ward, you know about Pale, you know about Pact.
Yeah, you've heard of them at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like while like okay, Worm is definitely not the first English language web serial, but it's probably the one that made it popular. That made it a popular format
Yeah.
in the West.
It was the one that made people go, "Huh, I can make money from this shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Kind of.
I
That
think
is what happened with me.
like especially early on, Wildbow cited the Legion of Nothing
Yeah.
as what inspired him to start writing superhero stories, right? And a web serial. Uh, I I do want to read that at some point, just to see if it's any good. Probably is. Yeah. Yeah, you can actually find the author of that in the comments. Because around this time, Wildbow's in the comments, people are asking him about he's like thinking about doing about like maybe putting ads on there for revenue or putting up a donation
Yeah.
button, which that's what he did eventually, a donation button and eventually Patreon. But the author of Legion of Nothing, at in that does show up in that discussion, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't even get like 1,000 people on my page." Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I could be like misremembering something, but I think that like the moment that Wild Bowl started publishing, I think that within like 2 years he went full time. I think it was something close to that. And the Worm did
yeah,
take around 2 years to publish. So like
about
it got
yeah,
popular pretty
two and a
fast.
half, 2.5. It ends pretty late into 2013.
Yeah, I'm looking at Graphtreon, which is a website that tracks like Patreon earnings. And
Ooh.
in 2015, like the 1st of March 2015, his Patreon was pulling in $2,000 a month. And from there it like goes on
Yeah,
pretty like at around 2016 to 2017 it really starts going up. Like it doubles throughout the course of 2017 to 2018. And it gets as high as $6,000 a month. And now it's
Shit.
around 5, I think. Yeah, now it's around
yeah.
$5,000 a month.
And I mean, shit, that's a pretty stable income. That's
Yeah.
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 I mean, I don't think this is still the case, but I do remember hearing quite a bit that like $4,000 a month is like the most ideal, you know, money you could be making because it means like everything is paid for. You have enough for everything,
Yeah,
and like, but you're not like you're not making like so much that like what you have to be doing is like extraneous.
yeah,
It's the best way.
you're more or less secure unless
Yeah.
something really, really bad happens.
Yeah.
Well, let
But
me
he lives
tell
in
you.
Canada, so
Yeah.
medical bills aren't that much of an issue.
Yeah, let me tell you, as someone that lives in a country where the national coin is a lot weaker and like medical bills aren't big of an issue,
Oh
with
yes.
$4,000 a month, I'd be fucking coasting.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I'd be like, I don't need nearly as much.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Amy's Patreon.
Subscribe to
Yeah.
Amy's Patreon.
And help me be able to eventually turn into a full-time writer, because
Look,
I listen, I do have a story that I think might be like upwards of 2 million words, and I need to be able to make a living until I get there. Okay. Yeah, the
yeah,
reason
just
why I went into Graphtreon the other day is that like you can go into like the top 50 of specific subjects, and of course like there are like ridiculously well earning like podcasts on Patreon and gaming shows and
Yeah.
stuff. But if you go into writing, there's a lot of people there that I have never heard about, and like the difference between like the top 5 and the top 10 is pretty big. Like the people on the very top are making a lot of money, and beyond beyond that are people that are making like very good money, but there is a gap. Like there is quite a jump between being among the top and being like making a living out of it.
I mean, which is kind of how it breaks down for authors in general. Honestly,
Yeah, there are a
you
lot
have a
of
few
people
people
living off of it
making
that I've
like
never heard of.
yeah, like you have a few people at the top making a lot of money, including people who you really would not think are that you know are that solvent.
Yeah.
And most people are
Just say you
you
can
know.
just say J.K. Rowling makes way too much fucking money.
Yeah.
J.K.
Just
Rowling
say it.
makes way too much fucking
J.K.
money.
Rowling
Just
makes
say
way
it.
too much fucking money.
James Patterson is fucking Okay, look. I look. I volunteered at libraries in this country, and
Hmm.
like there are just like you'll just see an entire bookshelf entirely James Patterson, and it's like, holy shit.
Okay, I do have like kind of two stories I want to get into then before we get into Worm, because this is the best arc to talk about other stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty much.
are either of you aware of a recent book called The Age of Scorpius by Aldra Winter?
No.
So like essentially it's one of those like books that people are being extremely critical of because like the author kind of oversold it. And I was like listening to a video about it, and I saw this one comment talking about how like, oh, like the issue with like book talk being so popular is that now we have to normalize just like posting our dumb shit on AO3 for your friends. And on an earlier episode, I did talk about how I find it odd that so many people in the self-publishing industry haven't caught on to the web serial world yet. And I do think that
Yeah.
because like this is an author that was like got famous in book talk before the book was out, really focused on marketing, a lot of people were interested in it before it got published, and then I don't know how she really reacted to the criticism, but basically like it got to the point where the book has been published, it has been unpublished, and instead of writing
What?
book 2, she's focusing on rewriting book 1 because the backlash was that bad. Like
Youch.
it's currently sitting at a 1.6 stars in Goodreads.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, yeah, it is much better perhaps if you are like a young author coming to the scene right now to not throw yourself into this like hurricane that is publishing, and actually just post your stuff to the internet and see what comes of
Yeah.
it. Because then you can avoid stuff like this.
Yeah, it is a lot easier to lob vitriol at a professionally published book than right than at a than at something someone just putting up on the internet for free. It's a lot easier to do that without feeling like a huge dick.
Yeah. And also, like, of course, I am not the target audience for Book Talk YA, like, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But,
Yeah, no.
like, looking at this specific case, like, it's very worrisome that, like, maybe there could just it would have just been smarter to not really focus on the marketing instead of trying to like launch our career with a bang, because if like I publish a web serial and eventually I want to make an edited version of it and I rewrite it into like full length novels that are going to be posted to Kindle, that's much easier to take as both an author and as like a public person that wants to build an audience than like forever
Yeah, 'cause, like-
having this story that you published a book and like maybe let's say I am your fan, but oh, you're not writing book 2, you are rewriting book 1. Like at that point, how would an audience member like trust your capacity to keep going?
Like unless you're like really invested in like the narrative not of like the book itself, but of like of the author. I could see you rereading book one to see how it is. But I think like most people, there's like enough books coming out that are just going to be like, more book talk shit. Like
I mean,
it's
there are a
but like
lot of reasons not to try and make a huge splash with your first book. A,
yes.
because you know, a new author isn't always very good yet.
No.
B, because because if it is good, it puts a lot more pressure on your next book.
Mm.
Um, and also just like the more marketing you put into something, the more backlash there's gonna be inevitably. The more people are gonna feel like it's astroturfed. Right? It's like, fuck you. I don't want to read this. Stop putting it in front of me.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So people are inevitably going to be a lot more negative than they would have been otherwise, no matter the actual quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to be a lot more negative towards something that they feel like they're getting shoved that they feel like is getting shoved in their faces.
And like people still, even in the age of the digital age, people still like buying things physically. And I think
Yeah.
that's why like, you still want to release a book through traditional publishing. It's like, it's like the official means and people could buy it and like it feels more
Yeah.
physical, it feels more real.
And it's more
However,
prestigious too.
yeah, prestigious, yeah. Like,
It feels more
however, like
legit.
if you release it online for free and then edit it a little bit in order to like turn it into like and then release it out there. Here's the physical version now. People will still buy that. Like if it's like the version of if
Yeah.
they like your story, even if they know they can get it for free, they will still go the route of giving you money.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
look, I've read Mother of Learning twice through. I would still buy physical copies. Like, because it's a good book, and I would love to support the author and like have it on my shelf, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
I have like
the, yeah.
you can have like a torrent of like all of Monogatari, but you could still buy those collector's editions.
Yeah.
Yeah, those boxes.
Like it's
People do.
nice to have a physical thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not to shove Kurt Vonnegut into everything, but it's time to shove Kurt Vonnegut into everything.
Actually, you asked that last night. I was like, "What's something you always bring up?" I feel like Kurt Vonnegut is
Kurt,
pretty.
Yeah.
it's almost like he's my favorite author or something.
Can't
Yeah.
relate. Can't relate.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Amy has never brought up Malazan at all.
I don't even know what you're
She's
talking about.
I've never brought up Nobuyuki Fukumoto at any point.
never. But yeah,
Well,
like
I didn't even say Kaiji this episode. You know,
Okay.
didn't even bring that up.
yeah,
Nobuyuki
but
Fukumoto, Kurt Vonnegut, and Steven Erickson. All three of them on the ring. Who's winning?
ooh, well, let's see.
On the
Kurt
what?
Vonnegut
On
fought
the
in the
ring.
Second World War,
Okay.
so he does have combat experience.
Fukumoto is like an old Japanese man. He's not really a fighter, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
Although
Kurt
actually,
Vonnegut is wiping.
that does actually at what point in their lives?
Yeah, because actually, like Fukumoto, before he was a mangaka, he was a construction worker, which is not like huge, but that is still
Hmm.
like that is enough. Like,
Yeah, like
the-
at peak physical condition, probably Fukumoto beats Vonnegut.
True.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I picked. Sorry, Steven Erickson. I think I picked the wrong fight here. I'm sorry. Because Steven Erickson is like a 75-year-old guy and he's pretty teen, so
yeah.
yeah. Okay. I lose.
Yeah, like
Kurt
uh,
Vonnegut's still alive.
oh no, he died in like 2007.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
So Kurt Vonnegut's losing. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
'cause
just a
it's-
fucking corpse.
and I mean Steven Erickson is an archaeologist, so yeah.
look, look, Vonnegut. He did get his degree in anthropology. Eventually. yeah, he actually his original master's thesis actually got rejected, and then he went into writing after that. while
Oh.
working various different jobs, including a salesman at a Saab dealership for a while. But yeah, actually, the University of Chicago did eventually accept Cat's Cradle as his master's thesis, which is kind of hilarious. Like, not an honorary degree, just as an actual master's thesis. which which is pretty funny, honestly.
Yeah.
Although speaking of Cat's Cradle, that's the novel that got him noticed, right? That was the novel that made literary critics take notice.
Okay. Yeah,
Which
sorry.
that was like his fourth book.
I think I
Right,
interrupted
his first-
someone's line of thought with my
Yeah.
stupid ring joke. I don't remember
Yeah.
what it was.
No, he
Basic,
didn't
but
really.
yeah.
This is what I was
Yeah,
This is what I was gonna get into anyway. I used
You've
the
already Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah.
I used the anthropology thing as a segue because
Okay.
yes. So I think his first two novels didn't even get hardcover editions for a while. Like they were just paperbacks originally. Right, like pulp sci-fi. They're good books, but it was treated like pulp sci-fi. He didn't like so by the time he got noticed, there was a pretty decent backlog of short stories and novels for people to check out. And then like 6 years later, he puts out Slaughterhouse-5, and that really gets him noticed by the wider public. Because it's an anti-war novel, and a pretty good anti-war novel at the height of the Vietnam War. So it got pretty popular with students, and they checked out more of his work, and he became a popular author. So that's another advantage to not trying to astroturf your first novel. You build up a backlog.
So I looked into it. Fukumoto, in his high school days, as a like in terms of education, he was studying architecture for a long time, and he was also in kickboxing.
Huh. So
It's,
Fukumoto definitely wins in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he also quit construction after 3 months of employment and
Ooh.
became a manga.
I
thought he
see.
was there for a lot longer.
He saw everything he needed to in 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough.
It's like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Worm.
Yeah, back to Worm. Yeah, fucking.
Okay.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is Worm even about?
I think we can continue like on a two by two chapters, and then I'm going to leave the other story I have for the end because it's just fucking dumb shit.
Yeah. But yeah, chapter 4, just like Alec didn't leave his goddamn phone on, or didn't check his phone. Lisa was busy with Coil dropping the identities of every Empire cape, basically letting everyone blame the Undersiders for it. As one does.
It is mildly funny that we just stopped fighting the ABB under the pretense that they were going too far. And they just found out who their boss is, Coil, and he immediately goes and does it. It's like, I can see why this is an issue. It's almost as if they're doing this all the fucking time, and that's why we had to come up with the rules.
Yep. Oh yeah, and of course, this is where the reveal comes in that Med Hall, the big pharmaceutical company that is a major employer in the Bay, is an Empire front. The president is Kaiser, right? Krieg owns a pharmacy chain, etc., etc. Also, I'd like to note that Astor's middle name is Clara, and part of me does have to wonder if that's after Clara Hitler.
That's a very
that would be
funny name because Clara literally means bright or light in Portuguese.
What if if I was to ever join the Empire 88s, I think I'd have my superhero name be Goebbels.
Goebbels? Or
Goebbels.
Goebbels. Like Gauls? Goebbels?
Like Joseph Goebbels.
No, I'm more interested in Goebbels than Goebbels.
Goebbels. Joseph Girlballs.
John Gorbals. Oh, now let's talk about something more interesting. Bullying.
Yeah.
So, 7.5. The Undersiders decide to split up, spreading the firepower between a team of Rachel, Lisa, and Alec, and another with Taylor and Brian, who are going to stay at his place. Brian tells Lisa to contact Coyle for help and to ask him to make a statement to Empire 88, making it clear that he was responsible for the leak, as the Undersiders had no idea this was going to happen. On the way to Brian's place, Taylor notices that Sophia has entered the same bus they're in. She catches Sophia seizing Brian up and is expecting the moment that their eyes connect. Being able to tell what is going on and starting to accept her own attraction to Brian, now that she has decided to continue with the Undersiders, Taylor asks Brian to play along and kisses him, making sure to look back and to confirm that Sophia saw it. And then 7.6. Taylor and Brian stop by a mall before going to Brian's place. Inside the TVs of a store, they see that Coyle's email is spreading the news. They part ways for a few minutes as Taylor goes to a bookstore to find something about dog psychology. To study, wants to keep improving her relationship with Paige. When she's alone in the store, Sophia attacks Taylor, grabbing hold of her ear and seemingly trying to tear it off, shoving Taylor down to keep her off balance as she does it. Taylor considers using her power or reaching for her weapons, knowing she can end this without much issue, but can't afford to out herself as a skitter. She fights back by hitting Sophia with a book, and Brian arrives shortly after, but Sophia manages to flee, twisting the story to the store owner about Taylor being a thief, so he stays on her side. After they leave, Taylor tells Brian that Sophia is one of her bullies, explaining that she kissed Brian to annoy her, but also because she wanted to, and says that she likes it. I wrote that she likes it instead of that she likes him. As it turns,
referring to Brian as it from now on.
that thing grew. That thing.
He it pronouns for Brian.
Yeah, Brian the man and grew the thing. As it turns out, Brian wasn't sending any signals Taylor's way, as she thought he was. He says he sees her as more of a sister or a potential best friend. They arrive at Brian's place in awkward silence. Taylor turns the TV on and sees more news about Empire 88. Yeah, this is, like, Ellen isn't here, but this is the chapter that got Ellen to say, like, maybe I feel something for this character, this Taylor warm girl.
Yeah. It's like, I see you as, like, a sister or a friend, and then he starts, and then Taylor goes, "Oh God!" and here's the pity too.
Yeah, I mean, potential best friend is fucked.
Potential best friend.
Like, I can see you being my best friend later down the line. Not now, but maybe in the future.
Brian is a very normal teenage boy, you know.
Yeah, and like all teenage what teenage boy would want a fucking best friend be like some 15-year-old girl? No one fucking.
No, it's the potential best friend thing.
Yeah.
Just the words potential best friend.
Yeah, and there is like it's not really like intriguing, as in there is much to discuss about it, but there is an interesting through line with Brian and Taylor and the way that they think, where like later on we get Brian saying that like his priorities are first his family, even though we see very little of that, and then the team, in that order. And he's very specific about saying that, because like Brian has this thing where he's like kind of dense, but he is more focused in his desires, in his priorities.
He knows what his priorities are, and that's, his sister is the main thing.
Yeah, and like through Taylor's perspective in this chapter, you get a feeling that Taylor was holding herself at arm's length since then. And she's like this like frail girl that keeps things in because of the life that she has led so far. And yet she seems to be the one that feels the most. And like weirdly enough, that creates a disconnect with Brian. This makes particular sense with another detail that I'm not going to talk about, because we have to leave it for the future when it comes up, if it comes up. But like this is already in the text, so I'm not really hinting at anything, but like reading this chapter and knowing everything about the story, pretty much everything about the story, because I have read it.
Yeah.
There is it's very intriguing to me, like from a writer perspective, that Taylor and Brian would be the ones to have all of these hints at a relationship this early, knowing that the way that they think ultimately doesn't match. And we get
Yeah.
this from multiple angles. It's a little bit from the family, while Taylor herself has left her family behind. And there is the fact that she was reading into things, even though she's aware that she has an attraction, even though she has been like keeping herself at arm's length, while Brian like seems to almost contradictorily be the one looking at it through a more pragmatical lens. And so like there are multiple layers on which they can't really meet. And we see a continuation of this, which is why I think it is very intentional in the next couple chapters, where Taylor starts like telling Brian to that like you're too hurt, you can't continue. And not only is she right, but specifically the fact that later on he says drop it, and she's like, oh, that hit a little too close to home, because it's the same thing that she
Yeah.
says here. So
It, yeah.
there is a
They're
lot
very
being
similar in some ways and very, very different in others.
Yeah, and I think it's like pretty well done, the way that there is this
Yeah.
rift between them, because it's several different things that once you look at it, having read the whole arc, it's like, oh, it's pretty fucking obvious. But in the
Yeah.
moment, you like in the same way that Taylor doesn't realize it, I think that you as the reader can also trick yourself into thinking that they are actually going to get together by the end of the arc. So like I just think this conversation that they have hints at a lot more, and you only really comprehend it if you know everything about the story.
Yeah. Which, again, is really funny, considering Wildbow probably did not plan most of that out
Yeah.
by this point.
Yeah, no, like maybe he didn't plan out where it would end up, but I think there are too many
Yeah.
hints for it to not be
Oh yeah,
intentional.
like he had broad ideas. He had ideas of where this was going,
Yeah.
but
Let
like
me tell you.
not how it was gonna get there.
Yeah,
Really.
and that phrase, ideas of where it was going, that is going to be pretty important for the next
Yeah.
arc when we discuss how this one leads into that.
Oh yes. I mean, ideas of where this was going is a pretty good description. Is a pretty good summation of the way Wildbow wrote Worm. Ideas of where this was going. But yeah, it is really well done. The way that like it's pretty clear they're not really right for each other.
Yeah, what Brian needs is like a slightly older woman with a lot of money. And what
Well,
Taylor needs is just like someone she could actually sort of like open up to completely.
yeah.
And like, yeah. And like, yeah, just, yeah. Emotions out. Like, it's
Maybe
not like,
even
you know,
someone who can read her mind a bit.
Yeah.
Mhm. If
Yeah,
only there was
exactly.
someone like that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like if you swapped Brian with Arms Master, that would not like make the relationship better suddenly. It's like no, there's like still problems. You know, besides from the age gap, obviously.
I mean, Brian and Armsmaster are very similar, honestly.
in a couple of ways, yeah.
Yeah. You know, although Brian is probably is a fair bit better at social everything.
And Armsmaster is a better character.
And Armsmaster
Yeah.
is a better character, yes.
I'm better at getting shit done as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, Armsmaster has been in the game for God knows how long. So
Yeah, I just find it very interesting that like we get to see Taylor kind of almost throwing herself like head first into, okay, now I'm with the Undersiders, considering where
yeah,
it leads later into this arc. That
yeah,
despite all of this like constant suppression of ideas that she has had to go through, it's like, oh, she kind of loves them more than Brian does, almost, I would say.
yeah. Because I mean, again, to Brian, family first, then team. And at this point, Taylor is, I think, kind of starting to see the Undersiders as her family.
Yeah, I think there was a line that hinted at that, but I don't remember what it was. There is something
like-
about her thinking. I think it's when she's like talking about. Oh yeah, when she's talking about how. There are a couple of lines actually. When she's talking about how her home is like a house, it doesn't feel like a home. But she
Yeah,
doesn't have that same feeling when she's in the loft with the
Yeah, and like
Undersiders.
later in this arc, like at the end of the arc, she's going, right, she realizes how much she's made her room here her own. Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
an interesting tale of a found family gone wrong.
oh yes. And we thought we didn't have a lot to say about this arc.
Yeah, it's mostly a couple of scenes that are really
Yeah.
really layered.
All right. What do you? You see, in the beginning of this show, the podcast, I was talking about it. I noticed how, Sophia seemed to not be the worst one of the three, sort of, in the way like Taylor sort of describes her. And as the story has gone on, Sophia has gotten a lot more crazier
I mean,
and more vile.
she was always the
Yeah.
most physical of the bullies.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But it does seem she constantly is like ramping up and stuff.
yeah.
What do you?
I mean,
What do you?
it's
Yeah.
as I see it, it's kind of she's as violent as she can get away with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's
Like
a
it's a
very
lot.
there's a
Go
very
on, go on.
practical relation, like practical explanation to it, which is that before, like very early on, and before the story started, most of the bullying was going on in school, and there is a limit that they can't go beyond in school. But
Yes.
since we have started following Taylor, we have been seeing things escalate because she's outside of the school a lot more.
Yeah.
So this is
I mean,
just like she would have done this earlier
Yeah.
if she had an opportunity.
We
Yeah.
saw a little bit of the bullying outside of school where like they tried to get another guy to like tie her up to a pole or something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, they definitely like tried to do stuff. Though that's not nearly as bad as the fucking tampon locker.
Yeah,
God.
and it was fuck, what's her name? We were just talking about
Sophia.
her. Yeah, it
Sophia's
was
the one who probably pushed her in.
yeah, almost surely, considering she is the physical one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's basically, and of course, they did the tampon locker because they know nobody's gonna back Taylor up on who did
Yeah.
it, right? They know the administration isn't gonna look too hard into this, right? Right? They know they don't want to lose their star, right? Their track star.
Is that really that important? And like I see it in like American media quite a bit of like having particular protection over like the star athlete. Is that
I mean-
actually like genuinely a thing, or is that just like fucking hyperbole for narrative sakes?
I mean, okay, it is genuinely absurd how much funding goes into school athletics,
Sure. Yeah.
like to the expense of all else.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Uh,
I mean, no school I went to was like that huge. There's no like. Yeah, the facilities weren't like that huge or great for them.
Yeah, because I also have like this impression that I've seen through media, like everybody hates Chris, where like the jocks can do literally everything they fucking want because
Yeah,
they're in the
it's-
school team and so they can.
it's not quite that bad, but like it is an exaggeration of a real phenomenon.
Yeah, like there is a reason why the trope exists. It's just exaggerated for the sake of drama.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it is, oh, this person is already successful and at the top and high on the social ladder, so I'm more likely to, to go with them.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's like also getting in the age where like the physicality actually matters, because if we're talking about like
Yes.
13 to 14-year-old kids, they're like that's the very start of puberty for some people, so like it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter that much. But yeah,
and like obviously, like if you do end up having the star pupil who becomes the next LeBron James or whatever. You know, that's
Yeah.
gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge for you in
Yeah,
your school.
like look, it's like if your school is known for turning out star athletes, people are gonna come to look at your school, you know?
Yeah.
Like like you're gonna get more money from sports programs and like scholarship money and this and that.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, if what you end up, you know, if you have like a kid that has the potential to become like a great writer or like a great artist of
Yeah.
some kind, then having no funding and making their life shit is actually going to make their art even better.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking true.
Of course.
So yeah, give all the money
You
to
know,
the jocks
yeah,
and bully the
as we all
fucking
know,
twats.
as we all know, the only way to make great art is to have a horrible life and great pain. You know,
Yeah.
as we all know, it only ever makes an artist better.
Yeah, that's why Heartbreaker's children are all artists, because he
Yeah,
made all of them trigger.
yeah, you know that. Yeah, yeah, that's why Alec's an artist when he cares enough to do art,
Yeah.
because he can't fucking care about anything anymore. Because you know that kind of got burnt out of him by his abusive home. Uh,
Also, apparently having like a secondary, you know, field of study that isn't particularly writing, like archaeology or architecture. Apparently, that does fucking wonders for writing as well.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I mean one of the things about writing fiction especially is like having a knowledge base to draw on is very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah, like as
That isn't just like
someone,
other stories. Yeah.
yeah, as someone that is neither a successful author yet, or someone who went through like English college or narrative college, whatever the fuck you call it,
Yeah.
or art college in general, I do have this impression that it's a lot more interesting for you to choose something else that you are interested in and to become really good at it and find a way to work that into your writing,
Yeah.
because you can go through art school and still be a bad artist.
It's
Like
I
you
mean
can
what art
learn that
school
stuff elsewhere.
yeah, like what art school and creative writing programs and that sort of thing, that teaches you technique. It teaches you composition.
Yeah,
Um
it has somebody reliable looking over your shoulder and telling you what you're doing wrong, as opposed to,
yeah.
you know, like just like a YouTube video, which, like, you know, you
Yeah.
can't get feedback from.
Yeah. But like if you have a field of okay, you went to college and studied something,
Yeah.
right? That is going to color the way you write. It's going to give you a certain flavor,
Yeah.
right? It's like it's the difference between like a chef who went to culinary school but doesn't really add anything beyond bring anything else to that, compared to a chef who has a very specific background and also and learned
I
in the
mean,
kitchen and I mean
apart,
going to culinary school is great, is great for your skill as a chef.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think like philosophically speaking, right? Like the point of philosophy is like taking the way that you look at something and then like recontextualizing and reworking it, right?
Yeah.
I think philosophically, like all skill sets are kind of the same thing. Like, obviously, if you're a chef for like 10 years, that does not mean you're able to, you know, fix an airplane jet. But because
Yeah.
you have, you know, a knowledge of how things work and are built, and like the knowledge you would get from, you know, working, it's like if you rework the way that you look at food and as the way you look at engineering, you can kind of sort of build off a basis of that, even if it is not specifically, you know, it is not as good as obviously somebody who has been an engineer for 10 years. And I think that is the same way with writing, where like if you can sort of recontextualize the way you look at it, your skill set, and put that into the writing, you will, yeah, have your own unique flavor and what else? It will be good, maybe.
Yeah. And actually, to bring Kurt Vonnegut into it yet a fucking again, right? Vonnegut is science fiction, right? he's a science fiction writer largely,
Yeah.
right? That's how he started out, really. But it's very much human level that he writes. It's very human, right? It's very much focused on like how people deal with this, right? And compare that to Asimov, right? That right. He studied chemistry, right? Right. So he's very much about the mechanics of things, right? Very much the how does this work, right? And not so much the actual people, the characters. Right. He's very like Asimov's work is very much about large scale systems and right and just like for Vonnegut the sci-fi concepts are the vehicle for characters, and for Asimov the characters are a vehicle for the sci-fi concepts. Right, because right Asimov is very much a physical sciences, hard sciences guy, and Vonnegut is very much like a social sciences humanities guy. Right, so these very much color the way they write and how they work and how they like what they choose to write about. I am of course bullshitting here, but I think there is some truth,
No, I can
some
see
truth in
it.
that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why most authors, like the average publication age is 40, because you generally need to first be good at writing, which takes uh,
A while. It takes a lot of practice.
yeah, a couple decades for most people. And also you need to, especially if it's speculative fiction, like what makes your brand of speculative fiction different than others is generally going to be you pulling from something that you are very familiar with, which is why people often say like write what you know. Not that
Yeah.
not that that means that you shouldn't write what you don't know. It means that you need to learn more in order to have something to anchor your
Yes.
creativity in.
You need to start with something you know. You need to like begin with something you're familiar with.
Yeah,
And from
if
there
you have
you branch out and
if you have a
expand on that.
even if it is just like a particular you have a particular fondness for mystery novels, for example, then starting off in the mystery genre, something like that, even just something like that,
Yeah. Like how many people went into writing horror because they read like Lovecraft when they were young, or Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
So it's not really necessarily about how interesting of a life you have led, which does help, but like that's not really something that you can control. It either happens to you or not. But yeah, like if you know jack shit about horror and you first try to write horror, it's probably not going to work out. But if you have been having these ideas around in your head since you, I don't know, like watched Bram Stoker's Dracula when you were 8 and you were scared in your room because you were hiding from your parents or something, then yeah, that helps.
Yeah, and it's also just like write what you know, because like whenever I see, for example, like Western made magical girl media, it's always made by people that have not seen any amount of magical girl stuff. And like
Yeah.
besides from like a little bit of Sailor Moon and Madoka Magica. So
Yeah.
what they do end up making is like shit that is just like, well, this commentary, this joke, this satire you've done was done way back in the early 2000s with fucking
Oh yeah.
Blooding Angel, fucking
Yeah,
yeah, Blooding an
it's
Angel, and yeah, fucking
yeah, it's the bad
forgetting all the
kind
names.
of self-awareness, like
Sammy, yeah,
Yeah. It's the
because
kind of self-awareness where they're not actually aware of what they're being self-aware about.
yeah, because on one end of the spectrum of fuck, in one end of the spectrum you have the Deadpool self-awareness, and in the other end of the spectrum you have the Nisio self-awareness, and those are
Yes.
yeah,
very different.
Yeah. Yeah, Deadpool self-awareness is like, haha, look at how silly this is. And Nisio Isin's self-awareness is like, we're 3 layers deep on the meta commentary here.
yeah. Like it's Deadpool commentary is like, ha, isn't this stupid? How Superman flies, and then like you go back and actually read Super, or like a haha Dragon Balls, like my balls, and then you go back and actually read Dragon Ball, and
And
like
they
that's like a
already
joke
made
that you
that
first
joke.
they
Yeah.
make that joke very early on, the Dragon Balls. It's like, yeah, it's very, yeah, and then of course fucking Nisio scene master.
Master. More like
Stay tuned.
more like masturbatory. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, let's announce our Monogatari podcast already. Why not?
Yeah.
After Brainworm is done, me and the Akulan are going to read the entirety of the Monogatari series and talk about all of it, probably in a lot
Yeah.
more detail, because
Yeah.
it's a story
Yeah.
that both of us are familiar with, and like both of
Yeah, we
us
give-
like as much. I think, like just as
and
Yeah,
much.
I'll finally have an excuse to read the light novels.
The light novels are pretty good. Yeah, I have a lot of them. Yeah.
I only have 3 of them. They're way too fucking expensive.
Well, you see, I've done this thing called piracy
Piracy is good too. Yeah.
because, frankly, I do not have the money for that shit.
Yeah, I buy more books than I should, considering
Yeah, me
fucking
too.
dollar conversion.
Look, I should not be allowed near used bookshops lest I spend my entire bank account. This has happened more than once.
Yeah, last time I was in a used bookshop, I bought don't remember if it's a manga or if it's a novel of Lodo's War and volume
Oh, yeah.
2 of Genshiken. Neither of those purchases make any sense because I know nothing about Lodo's War and I don't have volume 1 of Genshiken. So yeah,
No,
don't let me near
I've had to
books.
stop. Yeah, look, I've had to stop myself a couple times from buying like the third volume of In Search of Lost Time. Because I don't it's not like I have the first 2 volumes, you know?
Yeah, like
It's not like I have the first 2
like talking about
sections of that.
Monogatari, I have Bake Monogatari 1 and 2, which are books
Makes
2 and
sense.
3. And I,
Bakemonogatari is the beginning.
Yeah,
Kizu comes after.
yeah, like
In
chronologically,
publication.
but yeah,
Yeah.
like publication wise, they are books 1 and 2. And then I have Bake Monogatari 3, Nisei Monogatari. No, I have Otori Monogatari, which comes halfway through second season.
I mean, look, banger.
Banger, yes, but why?
Yeah.
Oh, with that out of the way, I think we can.
Yeah, what's this about? What's this podcast about again?
It's about what I'm going to read right now. 7.7. On TV, Purity appears leveling the building that Rachel had previously used as a dog shelter. She brings other buildings down in a matter of seconds, shooting rays of light from her hands, before approaching the cameraman and declaring war on the Undersiders, saying that they took her daughter from her, that Empire 88 is more powerful than the ABB, and orders Night and Fog to kill the cameraman for no reason other than the fact that he isn't allied with them. Taylor calls Lisa to ask if she's keeping up with the news. Brian doesn't want to involve himself at first, saying that the heroes will take care of the Empire, but changes his mind after Purity's declaration. Coyle then gets a fake ambulance with 2 mercenaries posing as paramedics, and they are out in the streets when the vehicle is attacked. Hookwolf, Storm Tiger, and Cricket are on to them. Guru uses his darkness to make a way for them to retreat, but a fight starts before they can leave. And then 7.8. Skiller tries to defuse the situation, but Hookwolf isn't interested, saying that they can interrogate and torture her, asking where the others are. One of Coyle's soldiers tries to shoot them, and Cricket attacks her. Gru takes an oxygen tank from the truck, throws it in the middle of them, and shoots it, then shooting blast damaging Hookwolf and Storm Tiger. Skitter's bug can't do much against any of them. As Gru takes on Cricket, Hookwolf goes after Skitter, but she manages to escape using her bugs to get a lay of the land, leaving him to search for her aimlessly in the darkness. Cricket is a physically more capable fighter than both Gru and Skitter, but together they manage to take her down, Gru losing a lot of blood in the process. They escape using Gru's darkness, and all of the Undersiders meet in a church. Word likely is out that they are in the region, though Purity hasn't found them yet. Gru says that they should go for guerrilla tactics, attacking small groups and leaving before reinforcements or heroes can arrive, but Telltale says that they can't wait much longer, as the damage to the city is building up. She suggests that they take the most direct action possible to end this fast, which in this case means going straight for Purity. So, during that fight, was anyone asking, where the fuck's Hookwolf, by the way?
Oh yeah, he just kind of fucks off, doesn't he? just kind of like disappears from the scene.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, he does get lost in the darkness, but for the whole thing, like he never finds his way back.
Well, you see. Look. If Hookwolf's there, they're just kind of fucked. Honestly, can't really do shit to him.
Yeah, I don't remember if the next time Hookwolf appears, if there is any comment about him, like seeing that they are losing the fight, just running away or something, or if like Kaiser called for him. I genuinely do not remember.
I think maybe Wildbow just quietly forgot he was there.
Which is odd.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff doesn't really happen in Worm a lot.
Yeah, it is a really it is a weird case of someone just fucking off for no just like without any explanation.
Yeah, maybe having like 3 characters show up was like a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Would have been better
3
to focus on
characters,
the
including
2.
one that they have absolutely no way of taking on.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
issue is mostly there. Hookwolf is too powerful for them.
Way too powerful for Taylor and Brian alone. Like with Bitch, they have a chance of like getting away from him. You know, the dogs can bowl him over a bit and they can get away. But
Can Regent only use his power on humans?
I mean, Hookwolf, I think, because in this chapter, Hookwolf is described as like there is like as basically there is just he is just in the middle of all this metal, which I think is contradicted by something later on.
Yeah, because I do remember both now and much later on him like taking the form of a wolf, but I don't
Yeah.
remember if that is his body or if he's just hiding beneath
It's
it.
not really his body.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
because
just kind of like I mean, his power is basically he can make a bunch of metal come out of him, and he can move the metal around like it's part of him.
yeah,
The
the way
wolf thing
he
is like an aesthetic choice.
yeah, the way he uses it here is kind of similar to how Captain Kidd from One Piece does it.
This means
Do you-
nothing to us.
Yeah.
That is a statement.
Do you think that that Hookwolf could like give himself a big old drill dick?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100. He 100% could. Yes.
In fact, that's
Hell
how Hin and Kaiser have sex because both of them can do that.
yes,
Hell
they're secretly gay. You see.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes, they secretly have gay drill sex, like in Tetsuo.
yeah, they like combine into like a big old fucking thing and like ride down the street.
I mean, they probably could do that, honestly.
That'd be so fucking cool.
Imagine them as like a fucking Megazord.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Look, I think the real proof that Empire 88 are idiots is that they never do that.
They fucking build up a big old fucking Megazord and they're all fighting over who gets to be the white Power Ranger. It's my turn. No, it's mine. Hey, I'm the leader here. I get to be the white power.
God. New fanfic idea.
We have enough fanfic ideas, I think. Someone
I mean,
is
I'm
going
not
to do
fucking
them.
keeping track of them.
Nah.
There's a whole ABB and 88, so they staying for the entire story. I don't care if it's a fucking spoiler or not. Just like
I mean, the ABB is basically gone at this point. I mean, the only
Yeah.
parahuman they have left is Oni Lee.
No.
Yeah, but
He's
yeah,
not
but you know,
really that much of a menace on his own.
yeah, but it's a superhero story. They always come back. The
Well,
fucking new group, new crew.
there are specific characters that will show up later. The group,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
look, the ABB is basically only exists as a unified gang because of Lung.
Yeah.
Because like originally it was a bunch of different Asian gangs that fought amongst each other.
Yes.
And you know, Lung comes in, he's the big bad dragon, and he makes them all, you know, he makes them all play nice with each other as one unit.
And the Empire 88 is leveling down buildings, so
Yeah.
that has to lead to something.
Yeah. You know, look. The only way to fight a racist white supremacist gang that levels building is to make a racist Asian supremacist gang that levels buildings. You know, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is another bad guy with a gun.
Yeah, that's how Coil operates.
Exactly. Or, you know what? Sorry. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a slightly less bad guy with a gun. Because, at least they're not fucking Nazis.
Doesn't Coil say something later akin to like, yeah, I dropped a nuke on them, but I think a rocket launcher would have worked.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does, which is like really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's a really
Like,
dumb
yeah,
thing to
this was
say.
probably unnecessary.
This man's
Whatever.
really into guns, okay? Yeah, when we get like the description of like Skitter feeling that Gru is doing something and she just describes like a cylinder. For a moment I thought like, wait, I don't remember him
thought it was
having a
like
fucking
a big-ass
rocket launcher.
cannon.
Yeah, I thought it was a rocket launcher. We're like, wait, what the fuck? When does Gru have a rocket launcher? I don't
Yeah, it's like, that's
remember
a
this.
really wide gun. And then he throws it, oh, it's an oxygen canister. That makes more sense.
Yeah, of
'Cause
course.
we're in an
I-
ambulance.
I honestly thought he like picked up like a barrel out of nowhere, like a fucking, like Donkey Kong.
Oh.
Catch this, fascist.
He should have picked up a katana. Which does
Oh,
come
yeah,
up
like-
again and does
Yes.
nothing.
Katana actually did show up.
Yes, it's mentioned again in chat in 712 for one line.
Which is very funny to me. I love that it's such a silly thing.
Wildbow, I mean, look, he said it would. Look, Wildbow said it would come back.
And it did.
It did.
Like, that is the sort of thing that I wouldn't even bother with. But the fact that he said it and it coming back is just, yeah, it's there.
It's there.
It exists.
It's like he was like, yeah, I have a plan for it to come up again. It was like, is this what he was planning? This was the plan for it to come up again for one line.
I mean, I kind of like it.
It is really fun. It is really funny.
Yeah, you
It
should
is a
just
really
add all these small little details and promise all of them to come back, only
Yeah.
for all of them to be still small details later on.
Yeah. Look, no. Look, Yakuman. She's gonna grab the katana and she's gonna become a fucking samurai, badass samurai warrior.
I'm sure she will.
I'm sure she will. This is definitely gonna happen, I swear.
She's going to have her bugs deliver the katana to someone else. Who would use a katana here?
Noni Lee.
Yeah, no, but Tony Lee would just kill her.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's how they become friends. He sees like bugs delivering a katana to him when he needs it the most, and he knows it has to be Skitter. so now they have a bond.
She uses her bugs to deliver the katana to his neck.
I just dropped it on top of him.
Yeah.
Also, does anyone have? I fucking know the answer, but does anyone have any thoughts on Cricket and Storm Tiger?
Actually, you know what? I do actually. Because Wildbow's mentioned that for a lot of these capes, it was like, okay, some of these characters I build from the bottom up and give them a name after I figure them out. That's what's going on with Taylor. The original plan was to have the audience name her, but barely anyone chimed in, so we ended up with Skitter. Right, and some of them he just builds from the top down. He comes up with a name and then builds a character to fit them. Cricket is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
Right, like, okay, her name is Cricket. Her power is that she chirps. She makes noises. And she fights with two little scythe things. You know, kind of like a cricket's legs, which like, you know, and that also fits in with like Hook Wolf and Storm Tiger. You know, it's an animal thing because they were all like together in the fighting pits.
Yeah, but it's a tiger and a wolf and a
Tiger,
cricket.
wolf, the cricket.
Yeah, she has strong like manga goon that gets defeated in a chapter to show
Oh,
how
yeah.
much more powerful the protagonist has gotten. Oh yeah, and like when when
Oh yeah,
Taylor
and this is the second
stabs her,
person Taylor stabs in the thigh in
yeah,
this arc.
and specifically instead of pulling the knife back, she pulls
She
it
rips it out.
through her thighs. Like fucking
Yeah,
hell.
she definitely hit the artery there.
Yeah. And yeah, meanwhile, Purity is fucking terrifying.
She sure fucking is.
That's all that happens in this chapter. It's a big fight. Hookwolf fucks off to God knows what.
Look, Hookwolf fucks off to, I don't know, kill some black people probably.
And
Is there's like various powers in this story. Like all of it's like very, very specific, and then there's some that are just like they can fly and can shoot lasers. As I say, they're more like Superman coded, right? Does it actually come back as like, no, these are actually very specific, or is it always because I would prefer it if it was like, actually no, this is like a very specific thing.
I mean, the
As
general
opposed,
rule is that if it does seem very broad, it usually is actually something very specific and kind of stupid.
yeah.
yeah, there are a couple variations. Like
I mean, yeah,
everyone in Victoria's family like can fly, but
most of them anyway.
basically, like there are very specific powers that can be used to seem like something that they are not, but there is also a kind of power where someone has minor powers. Instead of having one, they
Yeah.
have a couple powers, and
Yeah,
so
like Circus.
yeah, like circles. But the people that we see flying, all of them have like something that they can use to attack, something that they can use to fly, and generally something they can use to defend. Like it's three different powers working together.
Yeah. Although not always necessarily the last one.
Yeah. Specifically, the
Yeah.
people that we do see flying are kind of like that.
There is also, second trigger events, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So I guess that's it.
We'll get into that.
we'll get
Not
into
that I
that.
thought, not that I think Glory Girl's gone through 2 trigger events. Though maybe.
Well, maybe she
Actually,
lost
yeah.
2 games.
Yeah, last 2 games.
She got fouled twice. You know what would be really fucking
yeah,
funny?
I mean,
like she
Blake
triggers
in
being
general
fouled,
is
then
kinda like-
then she like goes back home and watches the game, and she triggers again. That's why she has 2 powers.
No, I mean, Flight does seem to be just kind of a thing that gets tossed in with a lot of other powers.
Yeah, a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
What if Glory Girl gets called Glory Hole one too many times and it causes her to trigger? That would honestly be
Interestingly
really fucking cool.
possible.
That would actually be really fucking cool, to be honest.
Just see it happen.
Okay, one of those, like, there is actually an explanation for why, like, for why someone has these powers. Aegis, right? Like, he doesn't actually have super strength. He can
Yeah.
just punch really hard and ignore the consequences. Right? He can just ignore the consequences of pushing past what would normally be the limit. Right? He can just basically always have adrenaline strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, fucking Shaman protagonist, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Deku.
Fucking
Probably not
Deku.
similar.
Or like Genesis, who creates different
Yeah.
bodies, so she can make each body
Yeah.
be whatever the fuck she needs at that one time.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's not much to be said about this fight.
Yeah,
No.
it's
It's kind of nothing, honestly.
Yeah.
It-
Also, where
like,
the
I was
fuck-
reading it, I was like,
where did
this
Storm
sucks.
Tiger go? Did they actually defeat him?
I don't remember exactly what happens. Doesn't he get like pretty seriously damaged by Grow shooting the canister?
Oh yeah, that is probably what happened to him. Yeah, Storm Tiger, I'm not sure is really mentioned after the canister explodes. Yeah, we can probably just move on.
Yeah, and then I think we'll have more to say about the last 2
About
chapters
Purity.
and the interlude. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now we get into the other fight here.
Yeah, the fight that actually matters for this arc.
Yes. Yeah, the other one was just kind of there. Just kind of happened.
Yeah, and I understand like Hookolf is kind of important and we want to see him in action, but yeah, it's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
7.9. Skeeter asks Gru if he is going to be okay after the wounds Cricket delivered him. Though she is insistent, he tells her to drop the subject, and that line hits a little too close to home. Using Tattletale's power to give a general direction of Purity's position, they move out into the city, riding Beach's dogs. A whole score of parahumans are there. Purity being covered by Rune and Crusader as she fights Lady Photon, Laser Dream, and Glory Girl. Shielder is fighting alongside Brandish and Flashbang. There's also Krieg, Victor, Otala, Alabaster, and further away Knight, Fog, Panacea, Vista, and Clockbucker. They also catch sight of Manpower as he is slammed into a building, and I think I actually got everyone. I don't remember there being anyone else that isn't mentioned.
oh yeah, Panacea is just like hanging out on the edge of the fight
Yeah,
to do
just
healing.
in case someone's fucking dying.
Yeah.
Regent targets Rune, using his power to make the girl fall from atop pieces of debris she can levitate with her power. Apparently she can control several objects as long as they weigh around a ton each. Rune attacks the Undersiders by bringing down the buildings around them, whittling away their escape routes until they end up in an alley where Knight and Fog are approaching. Fog can turn into sentient gas, and as he obscures Knight, Brutus is thrown with enough force to bowl them over, leaving behind marks that even broke through his bone plating. Tattletale briefly explains that when Knight isn't being seen by anyone, she can turn into some sort of monstrosity, and it's definitely enough to kill them. Skitter and Tattletale both notice Fog pulling out a flashbang grenade. They tell Gru to surround them in darkness, but he falls unconscious at this moment, succumbing to his blood loss. I think that's incorrect, actually. I don't think he falls unconscious.
Yeah, no, it like it's written in a way that makes it sound like he falls unconscious, but he is conscious. He is still
Yeah.
conscious later on.
It's just losing it. Yeah.
He was like conscious and babbling. He can't really like stay upright. You know, he's a bit fucked. He's a bit fucked up from the blood loss.
Yeah. And 7.10. Unable to stop Fog's flashbang from going out, Knight does a number on Judas while they're all blinded, but the dog manages to catch her within his jaws, delaying her just enough that he's the only one to be attacked, ending with his face mostly torn and seemingly blinded. Skitter charges Knight, striking with her baton, but Knight has ways of getting better mileage of her power. She pings a smoke grenade that Skitter manages to throw into an alley, getting slashed in the back for it. Then Knight throws her own cloak in Skitter's face, blinding her to activate her own power, ending with Knight pressing a knife at Skitter's throat. Tattletale tries to get to her, while Gru is using his darkness to keep Fog at bay, though he's so weak the darkness dissipates fast. Knight doesn't seem willing to listen to Tattletale and goes for Skitter, forcing Tattle to shoot at Knight twice. Purity arrives at almost the same time. Regent messes with her aim so she misses her first shot, giving Tattletale time to explain that she knows about Esther and where she is, that they weren't the ones to send the email and have come to set the record straight, and that Kaiser knows all of this but thought it beneficial to use Purity to strike at his enemies before telling her the truth. They make a deal and Tattletale leaves with Purity, the rest of the Undersiders being allowed to walk away, with the threat that Tattle is going to be maimed or killed if she's lying. Skitter calls for Coil, who sends in 2 ambulances to collect them. They end up the same place that Taylor was treated at after Bakuda's bomb gave her a concussion. It takes a while, but Tattletale sends a message saying that she is free and on her way. Then I left a lot of fucking typos in this. It's almost as if I did this really fucking fast earlier today. So yeah, thoughts on Rune, thoughts on Knight, thoughts on Fog.
Okay, Taylor does call Rune Sabrina the Teenage Nazi.
Oh yeah.
And then goes, well, I'm really not good at this whole banter thing. And I was like, excuse me, that's fantastic, Taylor.
Yeah.
No, that one's a little. I mean, she can work on it. Like, I think the basis for being funny is a sense of deep shame. Where like when you say a bad joke, and you will always inevitably say a bad joke, if you don't feel any amount of shame about it, then you're never going to become funny. You need that amount of shame. It needs to haunt you. And so the fact that, it does, as she does reflect on it, shows promise for her insults. And she is occasionally funny, Taylor.
Yeah. I think this is one of those funny ones. And yes, this is an enduring nickname for Rune in the fandom.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah, like in fanfic too, people just call her Sabrina the Teenage Nazi a lot. It's
Yeah, that's Womp for you.
it's
They
good.
take like something small and throw away, and then they just make a whole
Oh
thing
yeah,
out of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, my guy Stalin is trying to tell a story, and people are like, "Oh, Sabrina, the teenage Nazi. Yeah, I remember her. I'm going to write a whole fanfic about her. In fact,
Yeah, Sabrina,
I haven't
the
I haven't seen a lot
teenage
of.
Nazi
I can't really think of any rune-centric fanfic.
nah."
who gets isekai'd along with a trusty, helpful katana.
Oh, so that's okay. So it's an isekai between Rune, Greg, and the katana.
Yes, and they go on a nice little adventure together.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to read that one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad.
I mean, Rune is, I believe, one of the oldest characters.
Yes, she is. She
There,
was one of the first ones Wildbow tried to write a
yeah,
story around.
there is like a short story from 2003, I believe, that is still available on the internet. In fact,
Huh.
I wonder if she was still a Nazi. That one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, somehow I don't think he was planning to write an entire story about the Nazi, about a teenage Nazi. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll have to go check out Rune Child.
Yeah, stop reading the fucking fanfics and read the original drafts for what became or.
God, I really should do that.
Has
You know,
anybody made a fan fiction and called it RuneScape?
hello.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, I don't think so, in fact.
Okay, 7.9. There is something to bring up here. A meta
Okay.
thing, even. I yeah, Amy, I messaged you about this earlier. This is where the lost chapter was.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so basically, uh, this chapter originally was somewhat different, 7.9. It was apparently a lot like more frantic, panicked, like went worse for the Undersiders. But you know, I don't actually know what it was like because it's completely lost to time. Wildbow rewrote it and like just completely rewrote it within about 5 hours of original publication. So all we have to go on is some half remembered, because basically Wildbow rewrote it before most of the people reading Worm saw it at the time. So to quote Wildbow a few years later, that chapter doesn't exist anywhere except in the email notifications and minds of the earliest Worm adopters. It is canon, he says. Not gonna explain how. But yeah, no, the chapter it's lost to time. Uh,
But it's still canon.
it's still canon.
Yeah, Wild Bull
uh,
does have that, like, rat bastard energy to him. Like,
he's such a rat bastard. I love him for it, but I fucking hate him for it. Uh, yeah, you know. Yeah, and like Krieg is in that version of the chapter and uses his power in it. Want to know what that power is? Scavenger hunt. Find one of the early worm readers and pick their brain. Bribe them. Go. Remember, I rewrote it before the crack of dawn, so it's only a fraction of the first 50 to 100 worm readers that actually picked that up.
yeah,
I
there's
think that
probably like
estimate of
10 people who read it.
yeah, I think that estimate of the number of people who were reading Worm at the time is a bit low, but
Probably.
yeah. I mean, it is possible that the chapter is just sitting in someone's old archived emails somewhere, you know, languishing in obscurity, and
Oh,
it will probably never be found.
oh, I watched an hour long. I think it was even longer than an hour video about the hunt for the lost Backyardigans pilot, which wasn't even animated. That before Backyardigans there was a CGI one,
Huh.
and before the CGI one there was one that was like actual actors in costume. And it's fucking insane where that story goes because of the Backyardigans pilot. So someone has to do one of those for the Lost War chapter. And I would love you for it, whoever does it.
It's yeah. So like a couple other comments from Wildbow on this. There's only been one similar incident since this is about a later quote unquote lost chapter that isn't really lost. There's only been one similar incident since I began Worm. One chapter was a little too frantic and description heavy. I pulled an all-nighter to rewrite it before the remainder of my readers woke up in the morning and saw it, joking that it was canon. I changed events for two reasons. The first is that I know from experience that I get really bored and frustrated if I do sweeping edits and or rewrite a segment of a story with the exact same events. The second will become apparent later. I'm simply having fun with the mistake. And that's a comment on the actual chapter. And from the wiki notes, the wiki administrators will neither confirm nor deny that there is a bounty for the original version of this chapter. But yeah, Wildbow wasn't happy with it. He thought it sucked, so he rewrote it and didn't save it anywhere, I guess.
So does that mean that Krieg never uses his power in the rest of the story?
I don't think we ever actually get a description of his power in Worm.
Or maybe
Like,
we just never
I
see
think
him using it.
Yeah, I think at some point Wildbow did eventually say what it was. Or like maybe someone just came up with with a power for Krieg and everyone just kind of went with it.
There's no way that actually happened.
It's entirely possible.
No.
I feel like Wildbow just like said something at some point and people just went like, yeah, that's probably Krieg's power.
Okay, there is the second source on Krieg is a Wikipedia entry. James Fleischer Krieg, wide-range kinetic manipulation, more powerful closer to him, resulting in brute classification, Empire 88. And then the source is Parahuman List, bolded edited by Wildbow.
Huh. Oh, right. Yeah, because Wildbow wrote some of the early wiki stuff. Like, Wildbow started up the wiki and wrote a few
Yeah.
entries,
No,
and then kind of just abandoned it and let other people figure it out. But his wiki edits aren't canon.
I think he started the TV Tropes wiki, not the
did also
actual
start-
wiki.
No, he started both.
Okay. Oh, and there is a whole document, Parahuman List, edited by Wildbow. Hold
Yeah,
on.
but like, Wildbow has said that his wiki edits are not canon. If they are
Okay.
contradicted by the story takes precedence. Because a lot of those were written before, like a lot of those are taken from notes that he just changed. Like what he wrote in the actual story is different from those early notes.
Yeah, I didn't know about this document where it's just like a bunch of powers.
Yeah, hold on, send me this shit.
There's like 400 entries on this.
Holy fuck.
Young Buck can fly. And there's
Can
nothing
fly.
else. Can fly.
Agnes Court. Yeah. Oh yeah. Alabaster restored to perfect condition every 4.3 seconds.
There's a guy called Nice Guy?
Yeah.
Forces all others to regard him as friendly and non-threatening, regardless of his actions.
He's in the story. He is in the story.
Oh.
He will come up later.
Oh, yeah. Now that you say that.
You remember. Now you remember him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice guy, of course.
I really like the entry for Sleeper.
Hold on. Let me see this shit. Because Sleeper's a big one. Oh, fuck you, Wildbow.
Yeah. Like Wildbow has like gone out of his way to not explain Sleeper at all, and I kind of have to respect that.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah, we're gonna just ignore. We're just gonna stop looking at this for a bit now.
Yeah, but I will put the fucking sleeper thing on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
so uh, a knight's power is pretty fucking terrifying.
yeah, it's the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, basically.
Yeah, I do like this sense of professionalism that we get from her, where she
Yeah.
doesn't say anything. She has all of these different ways of herself activating her power, like throwing the cloak on Skitter. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she doesn't say anything, but you kind of understand how she thinks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of synergy with Fog, of course.
Yeah,
And
and
then
Purity
Purity
herself.
blinds people with her light.
Yeah, I think that this is the only villain group who like actually made the effort of having people whose powers work together.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is partially because they have a lot of fucking parahumans.
Yeah. There is one hero group that does this later, but I think this is the only villain group that does this.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the original version of this chapter was just like really fucking crazy, apparently, and like didn't really make a whole lot of sense. There was too much going on, a lot of rambling explanations.
Yeah,
But
I can
it is
see.
unfortunate. It is unfortunate that we're never gonna we're never gonna be able to read the goddamn chapter.
Yeah. Like I can see how, because it is kind of a recurring issue with like Taylor looking at someone and then telling you what their power does in the middle of the action.
Yeah.
So considering how many fucking people are in here, yeah, I can very easily see how it would become obnoxious.
Yeah, and there were more power descriptions in that version, apparently.
Yeah, and I imagine they fought with more of them instead of just the Knight
Oh,
and
yeah.
Fog
And Rune.
and Roan.
And Crusader puts a fucking spear to Taylor's throat in
Yeah,
710.
but he appears at the very end.
At the very end, yeah.
Presumably after they have defeated Lady Photon.
Yeah. Or like, they've driven her off or whatever.
Oh, fucking Photon Mom, stupid ass name.
Photon Mom.
Fucking hate that name.
She doesn't like it. She does not like it. She doesn't like being called that, but everyone does it anyway.
I mean, Lady Photon is a bad name, but Photomon is
It's
ridiculous.
Really bad. Never let the internet give you a nickname. It's always gonna be bad.
Yeah, what was that like? They let the internet name their child, and it was like fucking Optimus Prime or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was it was the internet could decide a line for the next Transformers movie. And the one that won the vote was, I'm going to turn into a truck now. And then they pulled it off and didn't do it.
Yeah. And I mean, who could forget Bodie McBoatface?
Yeah. Isn't there... Yeah, there's this similar thing with like character popularity polls in Japan where Orance can't be on it because he's always going to win.
Oh yeah, on various like hentai like popularity polls and stuff. Like yeah, like in terms of like male categories, like he's always like the top one.
Fucking Rance.
Oh, there was also that one time where
Right.
I believe it was Taylor Swift, right? She was like, okay, I'm gonna go to any school of your choosing and do a little performance. For,
Oh
like, the
yeah,
internet
they
trial.
took like a school
the
for the
internet-
deaf.
A school for a deaf, yeah. And she did not do it. So, however, that
I
something
think
like
she
that
did
happened again.
like give a big donation to
Yeah,
the school
yeah.
instead, I think.
Yeah, however, there was one again for the artist Pitbull, where it's like
Yes,
I will go to
yeah,
any
Any Walmart.
any Walmart, and they went to like the most obscure like
Yeah,
fucking
to
middle of
Kodiak,
Greenland.
Alaska. It was Kodiak,
Yeah.
Alaska.
Damn.
Oh yeah, and
The
he
most
did
remote
actually go.
Walmart in the U.S. He did do
He
it.
did go. Yeah.
Crazy. But there
Oh,
is
God.
also a meme in the worm community where like apparently way back when Worm was starting to get popular in Tumblr posts, like Swifters would appear thinking that the Taylor they
Yes,
were talking
this
about
still happens.
was
This still happens.
yeah.
This still happens, and it happens the other way too.
Yeah,
It
because
happens the other way.
sometimes they say Taylor instead of Skeeter, and
Yeah.
then like Swifters would appear saying like, "Wait, when did Taylor do that?" And it is a couple comments before they realize they're talking about different Taylors.
Yeah, and this does happen the other way, where people will see posts about Taylor Swift as just Taylor, and because they're worm brain rotted, they'll be like, "Wait, what the fuck?" It's one of those beautiful things about the internet that actually is beautiful. But yeah, 710. There's yeah, yeah. Taylor actually like when she sees Tattletale after. Oh yeah, this is the third. Yeah, Knight is the third character Taylor stabs in the thigh this arc.
Oh, fucking hell!
Yeah, Tattletale. Yeah, Tattletale is described as looking actually disturbed, like surprised and disturbed about having shot Knight.
Yeah, and she
Uh,
really like makes the decision within a heartbeat.
yeah, like fuck Taylor, Taylor's in trouble. I have to help her out. And it does kind of seem like she does it before she realizes that she was gonna do it.
Also, oh, Tattletale when she's talking, she's like trying to keep.
You're such boring people.
Yeah, she says, I saw your info. Mr. and Miss Schmidt, first located in Hesse, Germany, moves to London, then Brockton Bay, Boston, then Brockton Bay again. No kids, cat, nothing interesting about you, besides the obvious. I'm thinking you even have your dinners on rotation. Chicken and rice on Mondays, steak and potatoes on Tuesday? Something like that. It's like, what the fuck are you going on about?
So I was at a loss to figure out how to fuck with you. You're two-dimensional. Until I remembered that you left the Empire when Purity did. And when she came back, so did you. And Knight's just not even listening.
It's like, what were you expecting?
But yeah, it's like Knight's trying to fucking cut Taylor up, and Tattletale just doesn't realize she doesn't even realize she doesn't see. It seems like she doesn't consciously decide to shoot Knight even.
Yeah.
You see, I couldn't join the Empire 88s because, like, if I went up against Tattletale, she would announce to everybody that I have 2 podcasts with 2 Brazilian trans women, and like I would immediately go, "Oh fuck, I'm out of the team." Oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Oh,
couldn't join the Empire for very obvious reasons.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I could get away with it for a little bit, but
Yeah.
the jig would be up, and yeah, I never got to pilot the Megazord.
and then me and Ellen would be targeted.
And I would, yes,
Yeah.
I try to join the Empire, and they're like, "Get the fucking Jew tranny." That'd be that. Yeah, no.
Not happening.
Bad idea.
How many more race-based villain groups are we gonna get?
I don't think we get any more, actually.
Okay, shame.
I don't.
Shame. It
Yeah.
would have been cool if it was like a bunch of like Mexicans or like something. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Like a new one,
fucking most extreme wing of the Black Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these characters kind of keep going, but I don't think there's any new group that is like that.
Yeah.
The other people who we will meet are fucked up in different ways.
Yeah, and then Tattletale just kind of fucking calls, fucking, Purity comes down. Tattletale just like, I know where your kid is. That look. Hey, Caden. So, Caden, social services took my kid for being a murderous supervillain, so I'm gonna murder a bunch of people until they give me my kid back. Anders, good job showing exactly why they fucking took your kid away.
Yeah. Tattletale's like, Dale and Emerson, Purity didn't lower her hand, but she didn't shoot either. What? Like Dale and Emerson? That's what you chose to go with? The name of the place? The name of the place Aster is in instead of just saying
street
Aster?
crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically goes with Purity as a sort of, well, if you're really telling the truth, you won't be worried about me fucking killing you for bringing me to the wrong place.
Yeah. Insurance.
Insurance. Yeah. Gru gets taken to the doctor. Oh, one of Bitch's dogs gets fucked up because of fog.
Yeah. I think it's both.
It's Angelica.
Yeah,
I mean, Angelica's
Angelica.
permanently damaged from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, because
She breathed in
Judas
the
heals,
fog.
but so it was from fog. Judas heals from Knight's damage, but fog kind of fucked Angelica up.
Yeah, Knight and Frog.
And then, of course, cannot finish this chapter without mentioning Dr. Q being like the bugger. He finally commented.
Yeah, he's still mad about the bugs.
I don't even remember what the grief was about.
Oh, it's because this is the same doctor they took her to after Bakura.
Oh, right, yeah, no, I remember.
Bugs all over his fucking doctor's office. I mean, he got rid of them eventually.
I think this is the chapter, yeah, as they're coming over, yeah, and she's describing the gravel that's underneath the foot. For a second there, because of Wildbow's naming conventions, I thought gravel was another character.
Yeah, I mean that's next chapter. That's
Yes, it's next chapter. Yeah. Whoops.
No, it's fine. I
yeah.
think there is a character called Gravel. I think there is one later.
Bullshit.
Or it's something similar. Hold on.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. No,
Yeah.
there's something similar then. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, gravel crushed underfoot as we made our way to the unfinished high rise. I don't know, for some reason I thought gravel was a character.
Yeah, I mean that's how Wildbow does things. He takes a word and he capitalizes the first letter, like Halberd.
I mean, really, it would be so much better if he just started putting man and woman and captain and
look. Wildbow went to the Arknights School of Naming Characters. Just take a word and capitalize it, and that's a name.
I think he just plays Wordle, and whatever is the answer is like, yeah, that's going in the pile. Okay,
oh, yeah, can't wait for the protagonist of the next series, Bulge.
Okay, I checked, and there isn't a Gravel, but there is a Gavel. So almost.
Yeah,
Gavel.
There's a Gavel.
Damn.
Imagine a group, like a villain group, and they're like rock, stone, gravel, sediment.
They have like a little like the youngest member of our school, Pebble.
Pebble.
The Boulder.
Yeah, the big guy. Oh man, I wanted to see Boulder and Pebble. Actually, I might have to write that down and see if that's like a thing already. But Boulder and Pebble, that's like good, actually.
Their main enemy is called Slingshot.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Ooh.
So we're good at this.
But yeah, okay. Amy, would you read the summary for this chapter?
7.11.
7.11.
Yep. It's a pretty fucking big summary.
Oh, so Boulder and Pebble, somebody has done it, and it's in it from a fan fiction series, The Legend of Fox the Brave.
Fox the Brave? Don't think I know that.
What is it a fan fiction of? Oh, it's like a Pokemon fan fiction.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, that doesn't matter. I can fucking still use Boulder and Pebble.
Yeah, for Worm.
Oh, just for like my own shit. Sorry.
For your own shit, yeah.
7.11.
Yes.
A week has passed, and the Undersiders approach a construction site where the skeleton of a building is. Tattletale leads them to the underground passage of a storm drain, where Coil is building a facility to serve as the Traveler's base of operations. Mercenaries and the construction crew are walking around, as well as circles. Tattletale, speaking for the Undersiders, tells Coil that they can't keep doing this. The team has had to fight multiple groups that could have killed them in the span of a few days, without even knowing about Coil's ploy on Empire 88 that made them a main target. Peach is now the only one who doesn't see any issue in continuing to work with Coil, as she doesn't mind what Coil does as long as she gets the help she needs for her rescued dogs. Coil agrees that his attack on Empire 88 was heavy-handed and suggests that, going forward, he is going to consult the Undersiders, the Travelers, and all the independent capes working for him before moving on with any big plan, giving them the chance of pointing out mistakes in his schemes. The Undersiders don't outright agree to continue working with him, but say that is a maybe. Stopped by a soldier, Coil orders him to fetch her. The soldier comes back soon afterwards, accompanied by a girl, 12 or so years of age, with dark bags under her eyes and a hair in need of trimming. Coil tells this girl he needs numbers. The girl says she needs candy, and they agree on answering 5 questions in exchange for candy. The Undersiders watch as Coil asks this girl what would happen if he sent the Undersiders to attack the place where Empire 88 is hiding without his help, then the same for the Travelers. And she answers with eerily specific numbers: 46.62354%, 60.21009%. Coil then asks the same, but if he's helping in his usual manner, yet the numbers go down. He repeats his first question, asking what would happen if the Undersiders' likelihood of success if they went at it alone, and there is a 30% downward deviation from when he asked the same question mere moments ago. This rattles Coil to the point that he tells the Undersiders to leave, saying that this matter needs his consideration. He asks Tattletale if she would know why the numbers changed using her power, but she shakes her head. Taylor connected all the dots during the conversation. The candy she was asking in are drugs, and she remembers the news about a missing girl that put the Undersiders' attack in the bank at the 3rd page of a newspaper. Realized that Coil had then attacked the bank as a distraction to get his hands on Dinah Alcott, and they played a major role in allowing that to happen. Yeah, this is like the first big oh fuck moment in Worm.
Yeah.
It's the first serious repercussions for our actions. We're not kids being cool and it's fine that we are doing this because we have shitty lives. It's like, oh no, this is the real world. We are being played by someone. And the fucking Dinah's power is... it's so simple, but it's so like...
it's so powerful.
Overwhelming. Like...
yeah, it is actually it is mentioned a couple times in I think Arc 4 and Arc 6 that that the mayor, or maybe Arc 5, that like somebody kidnapped the mayor's niece on the same day as the bank robbery.
Yeah, and there is another comment somewhere about how like the search is still going on. That happens in a different chapter.
Yeah. Like and also like when Dinah is like brought out, like, you know, there's dark circles under her eyes and she's like clutching her arm, like she's clutching one arm, and with that arm she's like drumming on her thigh, right on her leg. It's like she is tweaking. She is strung out.
Yeah. Because like so far we have been following a group of villains, but the actual villains are the people they have been fighting against. But now it's like, your boss is just as fucking bad as them.
Yeah. It's like, this is the moment when they realize, well, when Taylor realizes and Tattletale, also properly realizes, oh fuck, we were a distraction for this. We were a distraction so he could kidnap this girl.
Yeah, it also brings into question, like, if she made the correct decision. Because she was planning on... all she wanted to do was find out who is the leader of the Undersiders, and then I'm going to abandon them. Maybe she could have stopped this. We don't know, but the question is up in the air now.
Yeah,
if she stops here, she's probably got now the best chance. Also, Circus appears.
Also,
For, like, a
Circus
single-
appears and
Yeah.
she's like making out with one of Coil's mercenaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, which, by the
for her.
way, there was like a very specific description of that guy.
Yeah, like close cropped red hair, scar down his neck, or scar down the side of his face. Maybe.
Is that someone we are meant to recognize?
No, I don't think so.
An ugly scar running down on one side of his neck. Is there anyone that had a particular neck
No.
injury?
Nope. Nobody except Cricket, who this definitely isn't.
Yeah. Maybe this
Yeah.
person is described later, and we are meant to remember them from this.
Maybe?
I don't remember that, but it did feel very particular.
Yeah. Taylor hears those numbers right after seeing Dinah. I always think of her as Dina. As Dina. Yeah, after seeing Dinah, like, in this state, and realizes what is happening. And, some of the comments further down do theorize that, like, that's why the numbers changed. But, like, why would that change the Traveler's numbers? Also,
No.
the Traveler's numbers come after. So that doesn't really make sense. It's probably just, like, other things are happening.
Yeah, I mean, when the chapter came out, I'm sure people would have been asking the question, but it's pretty obvious
Yeah.
why the numbers change.
Yeah, after the next chapter. But yeah, Quell talks a lot about, like, I had a lot of frustration with earlier attempts to figure out the Empire's identities. I think this is his main base, I think, but just part of it is going to be used for the Travelers.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, Taylor's like Taylor realizes what the fuck has been happening during the whole Dinah scene, and yeah, she's not fucking happy about this. Yeah, Alec just goes like, "So what's her deal anyway? Did her powers fuck with her head?" I looked at the others, then turned to look at him. I couldn't help but let a little venom seep into my voice as I asked him, "Are you dense?" What? She said she got headaches. Quail said it was hard on her using her power. It's not a stretch of the imagination to think there's something going on mentally, especially seeing how she acted. The candy is a euphemism for drugs. Yeah, she's fucking pissed about this, obviously. She's been keeping up with the news. She knows who this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Begs Tattletale to tell her she's wrong about this, and she can't. Yeah, this is our fault. And that leads nicely into the next chapter, which is to say that's exactly where the next chapter picks up.
Yeah, good chapter.
Good chapter. This is the first real oh fuck, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Like, it kind of the ending of this arc and the whole of next arc is
The end of Act 1.
yeah,
basically.
but it's the part where I was reading Worm where I
Yes.
got like, oh, this is
Yeah.
there is
I
something
need to finish this.
yeah, there is something that this story gives me that no other story does. And that kind of thing exists for multiple stories where it's like not necessarily whether they are equally as good or if one's better than the other. There are things that I like more than Worm. But if I want what Worm gives me, I'm only going to find it in Worm. And what that is what 7.11 does and what the next arc does. This is where I went, oh, now I have to fucking see where this leads to.
Yeah. This is what TV tropes. This is what TV tropes would call a wham episode. Or a wham
episode?
line. Yeah, like wham! Just hits you like a truck.
I see.
Right. It's that oh fuck sensation.
I don't know. I honestly, I'm still not quite there yet. I can't really explain or articulate why, like, not yet. But yeah. No, this is not like, I don't know. It's yet to like fully grab me. I mean,
That's
I think
fine.
there was like definitely chapters that did grab me, but I don't feel like that overwhelming sensation of like I need to finish this.
Yeah. Well,
But
We'll
I'm
get there.
contractually obligated.
maybe
so
you'll
it
get
doesn't matter.
that through the next arc.
Maybe you will get that through the next arc, which we have been talking about since moment
Yes,
one.
we've really been waiting to get to arc 8 since the beginning here.
Yeah, because it's when we can start talking about Worm.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I know we said the end of arc 6 is when Worm really gets started, but we were lying.
Yeah,
This
this is where Worm gets good.
this
And-
this is where Worm actually starts. Arc 8.
And there's a lot to talk about metatextually when it comes
Oh
to
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
I mean, it seems like a shorter chapter arc and chapter length, but and I'm looking
Hold on,
forward to
let me
that. But
It
I'm guessing,
seems to be shorter,
let,
doesn't it?
let me consult
Yeah.
let me consult let me consult the data.
Yeah. Okay. Chroma, give me some numbers. I need some
Yeah.
numbers.
Uh,
Though, I'll give you your candy, whatever the fuck you like.
so is
did I pin it in the
I think
one?
it's like arc 11 has like 16 fucking
Oh,
chapters.
that is by far the longest.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. Arc 11 has 16 chapters, and I think so does Arc 16.
Yeah, sucks.
Of course, the reason Arc 11 has 16 is because it has 8 interludes at the end.
Yeah.
Let's see. Words by Arc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Arc 8 is the longest so far.
Yep.
Not by that much, but it is. It's like
Brilliant.
it's 52,000 to this arc's 47,000.
I'd like to imagine that Chroma was now just like sitting down and counting every single word, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay,
Yes, that's
this one's
definitely
longest.
what happened, and not just me checking the paste bin thing that we have access to.
Nah, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what the fuck is a paste bin?
Well, may we move on to 7.12 then?
Yes, God, yes.
Okay. 7.12. The realization of the part Skeeter played in getting Coil to kidnap a child and keep her drugged for using her power shocked Taylor to her core. Outside of Coil's base, she argues with all of the others about it, saying it's fucked up they even consider it a matter to be worthy of discussion. She tries to appeal to each of them individually. Guru explains that his priorities are always family and then the team, and that if it comes down to it, he would rather continue working for Coil for the help he is providing regarding Aisha than lose that support. Regent says that he left Heartbreaker because his father was manipulating him into being something he was not, that the current arrangement with Coil is much better, and that much like he did with his father, he will simply stand up and leave if it becomes the same. Peach has nothing to say about it, and Tattletale explains that Coil isn't stupid, that he wouldn't allow them to see Dinah if he wasn't testing them in some way. Skeeter leaves them behind, going as far as calling on her bugs to keep them away. Guru tells the others to let her go. She arrives first in their loft hideout and starts collecting her things, ruminating on how little she has achieved, everything she's leaving behind, and the fact that she's back to square one, alone and with no plan. Tattletale arrives as she is still packing. Shane isn't willing to make this a goodbye and asking that Taylor be open to conversation in the future. She's walking down the stairs when an air raid siren comes on. She walks back up to see Lisa watching news with a shocked expression that she didn't have when facing down Capes. The news are telling of an Endbringer attack, with instructions to evacuate the city. Lisa says that before Taylor joined the group, they had agreed to help in the case of an Endbringer attack, and that despite the current rift in the group, Taylor agrees to help without having to think about it twice. One thing that I noticed at the very end is that throughout this whole chapter, she's Tattletale. But then
Yes.
in the very last mention, when Taylor sees her expression, she calls her Lisa.
Yeah, it's one of those neat things Wildbow does a lot, where
Yeah.
it's like
It's like
very much.
she's not thinking about the team dynamic now. She's just worried.
Yeah, she's not thinking about Lisa as the Cape Tattletale, who she's mad with about all this shit with Coil. Right? It's like it's
It
just
says
yeah, it's just her friend Lisa.
it says something about the relationship that internally and externally Taylor always refers to her as bitch. Almost always.
She has been using Rachel a little bit more in recent chapters. But like before the attack,
I can't be bothered to go fucking check, but I feel like she was still using bitch a lot.
no, she does
during
use
the
bitch a
early
lot,
part of
yeah.
this book.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she never used Rachel before and she's slowly using it. In this chapter, I don't think she does, but they're all costumed. But like early on in this arc, when they were in the dog shelter, she says Rachel a couple of times.
But yeah, it's at the beginning of the chapter, it is like Lisa is also fucking horrified by this,
Yeah.
very visibly. Yeah, and like she's making
And
and like
Brian,
it's
fucking
like
Brian's like rant about like, oh, there's always suffering. Why do you care about this? That was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Brian's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, there's a difference between not being able to help everyone I see on the street because I'm not rich, and well, I guess I helped a child be kidnapped, but he's paying me, so
yeah, it's just look. I only care about my sister. Fuck you,
He
I got
hates me.
mine. Uh,
AKA the biggest bitch. Not the biggest bitch, but a pretty massive cunt through the one appearance we've seen.
yeah.
But you know, he still cares about her the most.
yeah.
I mean,
Again, family first, then team, then everyone
yeah.
else.
I mean, I do understand why Brian feels like such a serious responsibility towards Aisha.
Yeah.
There is something there that I can't talk about, but it's there. And yeah, once again, we see this way of thinking that Taylor has, where she's making lists of everything, and we see her individually try to make an argument for each of them, and neither of them work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like everything that she has been working towards, with all of her flaws, are like crashing down here.
Yeah, but yeah, Lisa's like trying to justify it to herself, make rationalizations for why she didn't figure it out. It's like
Oh yeah.
I didn't. Nothing he said or did led me to think it would be a serious kidnapping. I thought he was just gonna hold her hostage so her uncle would drop out of the mayoral race.
Yeah. This does also show the way that they think, where like Tattletale hasn't realized up until this point how big Coil's plans are.
Yeah.
Because she was even
Yeah,
thinking on
yeah.
the same like kind of thing.
Yeah, and like she gives fucking just ransom money as a possible reason, and it's like, you think Coyle cares about ransom money from an election campaign?
Yeah.
Like, look, it's not that Tattletale couldn't figure this out; it's that she didn't want to figure this out. Yeah, this is out of character for him. Ruthless, power hungry. Ah, yes, the guy who wants to take over the bay. It's totally out of character for him to be ruthless and power hungry.
Yeah. Ruthless and hungry. After he sent the email revealing very serious information on
Yeah,
his main enemies, I don't know. I think he is pretty ruthless and power hungry.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know, Lisa. I think maybe you're just lying to yourself. Fucking Gru. Some of us are kind of relying on Coil for some major stuff.
I mean,
Uh,
by this point, he surely has enough money saved to work all of that out.
yeah, surely, like Brian has enough money. And okay, many people have pointed out that Brian probably should have just joined the PRT, right? Joined the wards. Surely the protectorate would have tried to get him a similar deal that Coyle is promising.
Didn't
Uh,
didn't he talk about
also,
this in Arc 4?
yeah, it's like he does not do well with authority.
Yeah, true.
Right? Like he does not trust authority at all. He does not trust the protectorate. He does not think they would do this for him. Like also, it's almost like he's a black kid in a city in the Nazi capital of America.
Yeah.
Where said Nazis have certainly infiltrated law enforcement. So, he has even more reason not to trust the cops than a black guy anywhere else would. Yeah, obviously bitch doesn't care because she only cares about her dogs. Uh, Alec doesn't care because he doesn't fucking care about anything. Yeah, and Lisa's really the only one who's broken up about this besides Taylor. You know. And she does say later in the chapter, like, I am going to do something about this. I'm going to make sure she gets free somehow. So, work with me on this, even if we have to do it in secret. Like, she does say that towards the end of this chapter to Taylor.
Yeah, it's like it's too far. It crosses a line that Taylor just can't deal with.
But yeah, Taylor packs up some stuff, her money, right, and some clothes.
She takes the little amber that she got from
Yeah.
Brian, but she
Oh,
does
yeah.
not take the katana.
She does not take the katana.
Yes, the two things that symbolize her relationship to the Undersiders: the amber and the fucking katana.
The amber and the random trophy she took from some ABB goon.
Yeah, that she beat the fuck up once.
Yeah. I don't really. I mean, well, you see, the katana represents her glory in battle as a member of the Undersiders, or some fucking bullshit like that.
No, it doesn't. I think it's just a funny little thing.
It's just a katana. Don't read into it too much. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's like
It would have been funny though if it was like the amber, the katana, and like lungs, eyeballs. She just kept the entire time.
lungs, eyeballs.
Yeah, she gives
And,
Angelica lungs' eyeballs. Has panacea make them work.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, Taylor goes into this whole thing about like, from the beginning of high school it was get through the day, just get through the day. And then then she gets powers and now she has something to work towards. And she's gone from goal to goal since then, but now she's back to just making it through the day, making it through the week. Right? She just has to make it through the week, figure out what she's gonna do next.
Feels like something very climatic was going to happen. I wonder why that is.
Right, notice that she's made the place her own. Right, now that she's actually really a part of the group and not planning to sell them out, and Lisa comes in. Oh yeah, she does call her Lisa when she shows up at this point. I was putting clothes on over my costume and Lisa's voice came from the doorway. Where are you gonna go? A motel? I don't know.
Yeah,
What, you're
she's
gonna
using them interchangeably then.
Yeah. Like, what, you're gonna hunt me down, tie up a loose end? You know we wouldn't. Yeah, of course, he's gonna send the travelers instead. Even if we came to some sort of agreement, made a plan to save her together, go against Coil, I can't just face everyone and pretend things are normal. Even if we are working to save her, she deserves better than that. And it's like, Lisa just goes, look. Brian's as freaks as you are, right? If he's being weird or out of character, he's just defaulting to his core programming. Like, bitch getting angry, or you going quiet and wary.
It's just like that.
Yeah. In hindsight, I don't think it was that out of character for him. Part of why I'm leaving. Is it permanent or temporary? Don't know. Are you gonna try and do something stupid, like rescue Diana yourself? Don't know. We might have to stop you if you try. Do what you have to. I'll do the same. And she, refuses to say goodbye. Tattletale does.
There's also a wild ball moment in here where Tattletale asks at the very end, "Surely our friendship is worth doing that much." And then the next line is, "After a moment, then I gave her a single nod." After a moment, then I gave her a single nod?
Yeah, the then shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Or something is missing. It's like after staring at her for a moment, or after a moment of staring. Even then it doesn't make sense, but it feels as if something is missing.
But yeah, this isn't goodbye. I will resolve this situation myself if I have to. If it means we can talk again. So, just stay alive, please.
Yeah, Tattletale almost says a line from Garze's Wing, where there is something Garze's Wing where it's, "I must somehow find a solution to our convoluted situation."
Yeah. I somehow find it. I must somehow find a solution to our complicated, yes, to our convoluted situation. Fucking God, fucking Garcy's wing.
Her response was
Yeah.
one word, final. Endbringer.
Endbringer.
We've been talking about them for a lot. I wonder
Yeah.
how
Yeah, they were
how much of an
first mentioned
end.
in 3.6.
Yeah.
You know, right? Taylor brings them up a couple times. Tattletale's like, "Why the fuck are you being so morbid right now?" You know, clearly these Endbringer things are a big deal.
The effect is heightened by the fact that we just saw someone as powerful as Purity leveling like the city down, because now we are comparing that in our minds to the Endbringer. Like it
Yeah,
has to
it's
be
like
up from
this
there.
is worse enough than Bakuda, than Purity, than anything so far. That Lisa she's just terrified. There's just nothing else there. She's fucking terrified. There's no humor, no yeah.
Yeah, her speech even changes. She says, "Taylor, look at me," and then later, "You listen to me?" Like she's
Yeah.
like, there is no time to waste.
Yeah. Like she is freaking the fuck out right now. Yeah, it's like, and also like Taylor does have an inkling of what is happening. She just doesn't want she just really fucking hopes it isn't.
Yeah.
And then Lisa says it.
Do you think that's the bus from the title? The siren?
The
That's the
bus.
bus?
The bus. The buzz. No, it's more of a wail than a buzz.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the buzz is, other than bug buzz. But I don't know why
Bug
it's just...
buzz. Yeah.
Well, you can hear a buzz even though you're not seeing what is making the buzz.
But yeah. Yeah, the last line of the chapter is, "I'll go. I didn't even need to think about it. I would never be able to forgive myself if I walked away knowing there was something I could have done to help. I wonder if that's about something other than just the Endbringer."
This is very convenient timing, isn't it?
Yes, it's very convenient. Yeah.
I was hoping for Worm Taylor Hobo arc, but I'm guessing that's not gonna happen.
I mean, it still might. You don't know. You don't know for sure.
Yeah, you don't know what happens, but yeah, like her going through the same that Peach went through. Cool.
Yeah.
Or Alec as well, I guess.
Yeah. Wildo leaves a comment on this chapter. Like the first comment on this chapter is I've been really looking forward to writing the next arc.
Yeah.
And you know what? We've been looking forward to it too. For a reason.
Yeah, we've been talking it up like maybe too much like
Maybe a bit too much.
maybe like, well, much like y'all have been talking fucking Akira Kurosawa to me, but I'm yet to see it. I don't see it. I don't see the vision.
Nah, trust. He's the greatest director ever made.
Trust me, bro. I trust you, bro.
Look, Kurosawa
Yeah.
and Fellini, the goats.
And Gilliam. Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Terry Gilliam's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess
Let's just move
on
on
to
to
the
the fucking
interlude.
I can finally escape from this nightmare.
Save me from this nightmare.
Oh, there isn't nightmare, but there is talk of dreams in here.
Oh, yeah.
Interlude 7. Hannah. A young girl, Hannah, is being forced to walk in a forest to test the path for traps or mines for a group of armed men. Her village was attacked, all the adults killed, and the kids are being forced to walk into the woods one by one until they die or find a safe path to walk on. She thinks about a boy, Coven, whose leg slipped into the hole of a trap filled with wooden spikes that would only drive themselves deeper into his flesh if they tried to pull him free. They tried to dig his leg free for a long time, until one of the soldiers shot Coven in the back of the head. One foot in front of the other, Hannah walks into the forest, knowing that if she doesn't do it, the other kids will be tortured and someone will have to go in her place. As she raises her foot for another step, she sees a vast, living thing, too large to comprehend. The vision passes in a moment, the thought slipping away from her mind, and she finds that she received some sort of gift that comes in the form of a gun. Turning, she uses it to kill the soldier that was shouting for her to continue. Miss Militia wakes up. She doesn't really need to sleep, once going as long as a year without doing it, but sometimes getting a feeling that she ought to do it, and when she does, she does the dream, but remembers some part of her life, replaying as if it was still happening. She seems to be the only one who remembers the thing she saw on that night 26 years ago. Walking to the next room, Armsmaster, real name Colin, is speaking with Dragon through a computer. He spent the night working on a new halberd, outfitting it with new devices. After the recent events, Director Pigot has decided to restructure their teams. Colin asks for Hannah's insight on the wards, saying she's much better at this kind of bureaucracy than he would ever be. They're losing ages either way, but Colin doesn't want to let go of Vista and Clockbotker, their heavy hitters. After discussing what to do with them, he reveals that Miss Militia has been promoted to lead the group, while Colin himself is being demoted to work under Mirden in Chicago. Turning his attention to a program on his computer, Colin asks Dragon to take a look at something they're working on, a software trying to understand the Underbringer's pattern and where they're going to attack. They agree that the likelihood of Brockton Bay being targeted is high enough to warrant asking for help, and they trigger the sirens around the city. Hannah sees what she thinks is a glimpse of hope in Colin's eyes as he orders her to recruit the locals. So, Yakuman, as someone who is only reading Worm for the first time, and hopefully the last time, do you have any particular thoughts on the review of what happens when someone goes through a trigger event?
You mean like seeing the whole god thing or whatever?
Yeah, and also seeing a triggered event on screen, but that in particular.
Not really right now, because, like, I mean, the way I sort of saw it was, like, that trigger events sort of, because they are all different. So, like, to see it, like, visualize stuff in, like, this, like, in such a way. I imagine this is, like, a one-off for Miss Militia as opposed to how it is normally. That's how I sort of thought it was.
Well, she does mention later in the chapter that she remembers forgetting it somehow. Like she knows she shouldn't remember it. Right? It's something she's not supposed to remember.
Yeah. So this big endless thing is something that's gonna keep coming back.
Maybe.
That's cool.
Possibly.
That's cool. Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, there's like alternate worlds, ain't there? So
I can neither confirm
hopefully...
nor deny at this time.
So hopefully there's like, some fucking Shin Megami Tensei shit that's gonna happen eventually at some point,
This interlude hits pretty hard because of how different of a tone shift it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like the kids being forced to walk into mines. While before it was like, not to downplay the bullying, but there is a pretty big gap between those two things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, look, Miss Militia grew up in a fucking war zone. Well, partially. It's like, yep, got my power, killed these guys, one of the other kids died in the crossfire. Just gonna move on from that just gonna pretend I'm not thinking about that right now.
Yeah, and this is
why I don't sleep.
Yeah, fucking hard line.
Yeah.
There is a very clear sense that, like, the way she was reacting after getting her power and how she didn't really feel like the fact that one of the kids died later, that is very obviously her being one of the cases that the power messed with the mind of.
Yeah. I mean, also part of it is like, one of us died, but that's less than would've if I hadn't done this.
Yeah, but I don't remember there being anything in the text that indicates that she's rationalizing it that way.
Yeah.
I got a stronger feeling that she's just thinking about things differently. And I mean,
Yeah,
her
she
mind
regretted
and
the deaths. Yeah, she regretted the deaths. That went without saying, but she didn't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Of the 10 of them, 7 had made it back because of her and her gift.
Yeah, and if you look at her power, which is like an an everlasting gun that will take whatever shape it needs. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she is a weapon. So
Yeah.
to a certain extent, her thoughts are limited because you don't really need to consider that many things. You are a weapon. You need to do the job.
Yeah.
It's like she retreats inside of her own mind as a way to protect her from the
To
trauma.
cope, basically. She's coping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's been a parahuman for 26 years. Capes don't tend to survive that long.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
And
okay,
this is
right, it's 2011,
yeah,
which means she's been a cape since 1985.
yeah, and that's when it was in the 80s that the parahumans started
Yeah.
appearing. So she's
Yeah,
one of
like
the early ones.
1982 is when Scion showed up.
Yeah, so she's one of the like first generation basically.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like the character
Yeah, I
whose
think
power prevents her from thinking and makes her into an actual weapon. Who does she associate with? Who does she finds a connection to? Oh yeah, the United States of America.
Yeah, she works for the US government. Yeah, there is something to be said about, immigration and assimilation. It's very
Yeah.
like, there's a whole thing about like she changed her name from, she spells her name the American way now. Right, she changed her last name to her foster families, right, her adoptive family, right, erasing the name her parents gave her,
Yeah.
right, now she's Hannah Washington, right. By the time she got to college, she barely had an accent anymore, right, right, she just sounded like any American,
Yeah, she's brainwashed.
basically, yeah,
I get this feeling like in between the lines that what her power did to her is that it kept her mind back where it was. Like
yeah.
in a sense she kind of needs guidance. She doesn't seem to
I
be
mean,
able to
yeah,
hold on to things.
the way she thinks of it is, yeah. She touched the combat knife that was sheathed at her hip as if to remind herself it was there. She harbored her suspicions about her gift. Her powers had taken a part of her psyche and given it concrete form. The angriest parts of her, the most childish parts, the parts of her that dreamed and those that forgot. The knife at her hip slept for her and dreamed for her, she imagined. Uh, it's like, somehow I think it's maybe a bit more than that.
Yeah.
The part, the part of her that remembers her childhood. It's kind of like it's the part of her that cares about where she came from, if that makes sense. Yeah, like
Yeah, no,
you
that
know when
makes sense.
when when she first went out in costume as one of the first wards, she barely knew 100 words of English. Like, ugh, oof.
There is a line where it's like, now when she found herself slipping into that mindset, she often tried to sleep. Her memories as she slept were perfect, unblemished, almost more real than real life, which was why she never did it too often. Which, like,
Yeah.
like there is a certain association of dreaming with innocence and dreaming with childhood, and it's like part because of her traumas and part because of how her power seems to have messed with her mind. Like there is this constant desire to return to the innocence of childhood.
Part of it is that, but also, she doesn't sleep because she doesn't want to think about it. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to think about it at all. Right? She doesn't like she's not dealing with it. Right? She's not Hannah, she's Hannah. Right? You know, that's what she's that's what she's telling herself. That's why she that's why she doesn't sleep.
Yeah, there's a clear barrier between Hannah, and one of them exists in sleep, one of them needs who she used to be before she got her powers. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like there are two people in there.
Yeah. And Hannah is stuck in the weapon.
Yeah.
And Hannah's stuck being a weapon. God, now I'm sad about Miss Militia.
Yeah, like the Wild Boy is good and is getting even better at like painting these like fascinating landscapes for characters, like mental landscapes, and like you get. I will keep saying this. He's very good at making a character's sense of identity very strong, very fast. I feel like I understand Gregor, and I saw that guy once. I feel like I understand Miss Militia, and I see her doing something here once. She hasn't really done shit before this. She was just kind of in the background.
Yeah. Oh God, wait. Right. There's another thing. Right. She said like she thinks about having gotten closer to her adoptive family and their church. You know, right. And, basically she believes, like she kind of believes that her power is God given.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
that's just another bit of the assimilation.
well,
Good old American Christianity.
yeah, like she is being assimilated and colonized, but
Oh yeah.
there is an element of jadedness to it because people were judgmental, she knew, and so she would never speak of what she had seen that moment she received her gift. Even among other faithful, she would be met with suspicion and scorn. Were she to say she'd seen God or one of his warrior angels, such as they existed beyond the scope of human understanding, that he had given her this ability so she could save herself. Others would offer different interpretations, arguing that he had given such gifts to bad people too. They would point to the science of it.
Yep.
So it's like she doesn't think that, but she believes there is a reason. And there is a disconnect because the phrasing is that let herself get close to her parents and their church. So there is she's not fully into it. The phrasing there stands out.
I mean, I think part of it is just like that's not where what she came from originally.
Yeah.
It's like it's something they're introducing her to. But maybe it's deeper than that. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe some small part of her suspected these hypothetical individuals were right. Still, she preferred her faith to uncertainty.
Yeah. It's like the notion that this thing was something other than benign, that it might be malign, or even worse, that it had no conception of its effect on mankind. An elephant among gnats. It wasn't a comfortable thought. It's again, she doesn't want to think about it.
Yeah, also can't miss the fact that in the previous chapter, Brian talked about like people suffering in other countries and how we bet an eye to that.
Well, here's Miss Militia.
Yeah, and someone who went through that, and that has affected her whole worldview.
Yeah, and tries very hard not to think about it. Clearly.
Yeah, and like she alone is privy to the vision that she had, and yet she doesn't find it within her to really consider the full consequences of it, because I mean, she preferred her faith to uncertainty. Like, what happens if she explores this and finds out that it's not God, that it's not something, that it's not a gift, because she thinks about it as a gift, but everyone else thinks about it as a trigger event, as something, as a reminder of something bad that happened with us. And she still sees this as something bad because she doesn't want to remember her dreams, but the fact that the power helped her in that moment allows her to rationalize it in this way, where she disconnects the trauma from the power and sees it as a gift.
Yeah. But just the whole way she describes like coming to love America, learning to fit in is, oh God, no.
It's pretty fucked.
I mean, this is a thing with a lot of immigrants to America. Like you'll often see immigrants being much more staunch defenders of America than Americans, partially because of the quality of life stuff Hannah talks about here, and partially because a lot of those immigrants are running away to America. Anywhere would be better than where they came from. Is the thing for a lot of people.
Well, if that's all for Miss Militia, we have to talk about Colin now.
Yes, we sure fucking do. And right, Dragon, Dragon mentioned she also doesn't sleep anymore since she got her power.
Yeah. Oh, me either, she says.
Yeah. Colin, I'd give my left foot for that little perk.
Yeah, which is something that I noted that I didn't notice in my first read through, that this connects to what Tattletale was talking when it comes to Arms
Yeah.
Master not liking Dauntless, because he has
Yeah.
an easy way
More
out with his power.
More time. I need more time to get better, do more work, do more.
Yeah, and like Dauntless gets more powerful with the day, and Miss
Yeah.
Militia doesn't have to sleep, and Colin is like obsessed with being a hero.
Yeah,
It's
Colin
his
is
whole
like,
identity.
yeah. Like,
Meanwhile,
Colin
he
is a guy who definitely does not sleep enough.
yeah, he does all this work and stuff, but no amount of work can fix the autism.
This guy gets
He-
4 hours of sleep a night max.
He's not good at communication skills.
Yeah,
Or
he's simply
glad
too
handing,
autistic.
brown nosing, making a deal, marketing, all that
Yeah.
shit. And that's what makes him so pure. What makes him perfect.
That's
Yeah,
what makes him a perfect little That's what makes him a perfect little baby who can do no wrong.
yeah, and of course, what happens here is that, like, Taylor and Arms Master, or Taylor and Colin, I guess, are characters that exist as foils for one another. This has been going on since they were up in that rooftop,
Oh yeah.
and now the same thing is happening with both of them. Both of them are losing their position within their groups, and the same event, which is this Endbringer attack, is an opportunity for them to salvage the situation.
Yeah.
Like at very late, one of the like third last line, a glimmer of hope, and this is when Miss Militia is looking at his eyes. It's like
Yeah.
he lost his position as the leader of the Protectorate in Brockton Bay, and he has to go to Chicago to serve under Mirrodin. But an Endbringer attack. This is good for my career. I can leverage this.
Yes. Yes, yes. If I'm glorious enough in this battle, maybe I can salvage my position.
Yeah.
Maybe I can save my career. Yeah, and yeah, they're talking about like wards trades and yeah, but the thing about right, Dragon mentions she also doesn't sleep anymore, and Hannah's like, wait, does she remember too? And clearly Dragon does not remember.
Yeah, she just asks, do you remember?
Do you
She's like,
remember?
sorry? I don't understand. Never mind.
Never mind. No, if she did, she'd know what I was talking about. But yeah, we get Arms Master's new halberd that turns things into dust.
Yeah, this is
Welcome to the
his
experience of dust.
this is his special autism interest. He wants to make
Yeah.
a really powerful halberd, and it has to be a halberd.
It has to be a halberd. I mean, perfect timing. He just finished this, and now he has something to field test it on.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and in this chapter we
Yes, the
have
Endbringer prediction system.
not just that, but specifically case 53s. It's the first time that comes up.
Yes.
Case
Well,
50.
no, I mean,
Well, the term, I
Luger and
think.
Gregor. Yeah, it's the first time they're called that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Weld.
Also, like Weld's tattoo, like the mark is branded into his heel, not tattooed, but yes, it being in his heel, like is
Interesting.
a further moment of dehumanization, because
Yeah.
like that's where you like stamp toys. So he was
Yeah.
just she was just another one on the line
He's a tin soldier.
that they get on. Something about them talking about like maneuvering these kids around is funny to me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Gallant has a girlfriend. Like, oh fuck, yeah, I guess that gets in the
Yeah,
way, doesn't it?
look, he's tied down to the family business and his girlfriend. We can't really move him to Boston. Look, Arms Master. Here's what you do. You offer up Shadow Stalker, right? right? You know, say she needs a change of scenery. Pickett doesn't, right? If Pickett doesn't go for that, you know, well, I mean, it's like, okay, then I guess Browbeat. And I mean, what's she gonna say to that? No, you can't move Browbeat either. He's too new. And if that fails, I mean, you know, Clockblocker's graduating soon. There's a good chance he'll move back here anyway. Like, Miss Militia is clearly better at this people thing than Arms Master.
Yeah, because he's a one-track mind, which is what allows him to be so good at this one
Yes.
thing. He's bad at everything else.
Look, he just has combat autism.
Yeah.
He is the
Yeah,
weaponized autism unit.
Yeah, he is data brained.
Yeah.
Data brain, data brain.
Whoa. Oh man, what a good opening. What a good show.
The warp perfection cracked
Is it-
in my head, and the diction of these words still spreads.
Still spread in the
Database, still living in a database.
Whoa.
What happened? The data's
It
all
is all
gone.
gone. Counteraction rising. Yeah, we are ready for. Yeah, I
look,
fucking remember. I don't remember.
At least one person is gonna see this and be extremely confused.
One person for sure.
One person.
I mean, Colin would like Log Horizon.
He would like Log Horizon.
He would.
He really
he
would.
Yeah.
Be like, he's just like me.
He's just like
Sure,
me
it's just
for
like me.
real. The just fucking Denji Chainsaw Man with the TV. It's
Yeah,
just
we
like
are
me.
ready for a punchline. There's no use with all your gimmicks, so check this out.
I mean, if Arms Master came out rocking to Man with a Mission, it would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he's fucking the fucking Endbringers are like, yeah, let's fuck some shit up, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Oh,
can
man,
hear
there
his
comes
theme
the
song.
halberd.
Yeah, Arms Master should have a theme song.
Have we? I don't actually remember. I remember the Simurg being name dropped, but I think it was the only one, right?
Was she specifically name dropped?
The Simurg was specifically name dropped, yes.
When was
Where
that?
the other two or not? When Tattletale mentions the Simurg twice, when she's in the same chapter that.
Oh right, yeah, the telepathy stuff.
Yeah, because of the telepathy. I don't think the other two are mentioned, right? So
No, yeah,
the people
they
who are
aren't
reading for the first time don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All they know
Simurg
is that
sounds
one of them is named the Simurg.
Simurg sounds like Simian Cyborg, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, or as some people in the fandom jokingly call said creature, the Smurf.
The Smurf.
Oh, now I'm less interested.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. It's a stupid name. It's a stupid fucking nickname. That one is really mainly a joke.
Oh, I was reading like the end of the chapter, and I didn't even remember this. Like, he turned to Hannah, and their eyes met briefly. Much was communicated between them in that moment, and she wasn't sure she liked what she
liked
saw in
what
his
she
eyes.
saw.
I didn't
A glimmer of
remember
hope.
this.
Yeah.
But even then, he orders her, and she answers. She swallowed her concerns. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it this time and time again. Wild Boy is very good at showing how people think. It's pretty fucking good at it.
But yeah, Arms Master is like but yeah, basically he's been working for a long ass time to be like at the top of the hero game, and he's pretty much lost that now. Right? He's lost
Yeah.
the goal he was working toward, much like Taylor, as we've discussed.
Alright, is that everything? We could finally wrap this up, or is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's it, yeah.
We've been going for 4 hours.
Yet another banger interlude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, yeah.
I did have another story to tell, but we can.
We can do it.
No, I honestly I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's not long, but yeah, better to leave it for when we can fucking laugh at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that has been Brainworm. Comment down below who do you think was the brain and who was the worm. I think it's pretty fucking easy to figure out for this
Mm.
particular episode. But yeah,
Yeah.
see
Yeah. See,
you. Yeah.
It was me. I was the hyphen. I
Well,
was the hyphen in Brainworm.
oh yeah, I forgot about the hyphen. See you on Arc 8, fucking finally.
Fucking finally.
And listen to the Monster Girl Encyclopedia.
Like,
Or
Oh,
Monster
I
Girl
have
Monday,
been-
sorry. Yeah.
I have been counting down the days until we get to this next one.
I'm like, you know when like villains like scrub their hands together, like they're putting
Yeah.
up in like,
Yeah, the
"Hey,
fucking,
finally.
The fucking, like, that one meme where it's like, where there's just a guy labeled sicko outside of a window.
Yeah.
That's us. That's us right now.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, we're ending with that image. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good night. See you in 2 fucking weeks.